Hi, friends. Welcome in to the firm of Harris and Marang. Patrick Harris with you. That is Danny Marang to my left. Casey Smith back there on the ones and twos with a posse in tow, per usual. Oh, sorry, an entourage. You know, MC's got to have entourages. What's the name of this rap group? Because it looks like Marshall Mathers and D12 over there.
I know, right?
Sorry, I just lightly looks like they're working on something important.
I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say YouTube.
Probably. It is PGA Championship week, so fun new opens. I always get excited for that, hearing what Lowercase has got going down for that. That's always a fun thing.
I mean, golf adjacent.
A little Van Morrison for you today.
Ooh. Afternoon round sold out.
Oh.
Hey.
It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Do love that. How was your weekend?
My weekend, pretty average, if I'm being honest with you.
Pretty average?
I had a nice Mother's Day. You know, I have my wife, who is the mother of our 3 wonderful children.
My wife?
I have my mother, who is the mother of 1.5 wonderful children, me being the half, the full one being my sister. Yeah, it was nice. I did not see any of my mother-in-laws. I have 2 of them. I did not see them. I'm really bad with holidays, dude. Especially the kind of what I like to call made-up holidays, the Hallmark holidays. I struggle with them, you know. Every time I see my mom or I text my mom, I always tell her I love her. I don't know why I need a day.
There you go.
But we took the wife out for dinner last night and the thing. Went to a sweet Russian bakery out by the Vancouver Mall.
Oh, nice.
With my mom. That was great. Great coffee. Awesome pastries and desserts.
Yeah, you know, we did the Mother's Day thing yesterday. It was a great day. We did the bakery thing too. We hit up. She's gluten free, so we hit up a couple gluten free bakeries. Got some delectable little tasty treats. Walked around Portland, and
are they actually tasty?
No, like legitimately good.
Okay.
Like there's on the east side, it's Gem Bakery. We tried a gluten free pretzel. I had a savory Danish. She had a sweet Danish, and then we have a piece of velvet cake. It's all really good. And then there's Chiari West.
Okay,
they've got it's a Japanese style place. They've got these custard rolls that are just bonkers good, and then cinnamon rolls. So as great as that was, Saturday was the main event though. Saturday we got engaged.
Whoa!
So there we go.
Don't bury the lead on me here, dude.
There we go.
You're burying the lead.
Been planning it for 2 months.
Just going to let that one ride out.
Good times. It was, been planning it for 2 months. Had the ring burning a hole in my closet for a month. Took about 6 weeks to have it made, and then to keep it all a secret, have all the family and friends that were there to watch the proposal out on the Vancouver waterfront, and then go out to dinner afterwards. But yeah, kept it a surprise until basically the very end, which was the most panic and nerve-inducing part of it. The actual proposal itself went off really well, straight down on the knee. Leg day did not kill me. I was a little worried about that because Thursday was making the glutes and the hammies not feel too well. But in true dumbass fashion, I had the ring upside down.
Nice.
Ring upside down.
I thought rings are supposed to be kind of universal. I think my wife's is universal. She could wear it either way.
No. In the box.
Oh, nicely done.
Yeah. So I
almost dropped it.
I tried to go smooth. I put it in the back pocket. You know, so it was on the Vancouver waterfront. We had this big flower heart arch thing that I had set up with some candles and rose petals, and shout out the guy playing the saxophone on the pier. That was awesome. I was like, yeah. And people saw the setup, and she was being led up there because she didn't know.
Did you tell people that you paid the guy to play saxophone?
No. He just started going. I was like, all right, cool. We got a little mood music. But we had about 20 family and friends that were off to the side, and she didn't see any of them until I told her. But she walked down the pier like didn't realize there were photographers taking her pictures. She was walking up. Then she finally saw me, and then, you know, the waterworks started, and yeah. When she got up there,
she said maybe.
Yeah.
You convinced her later over dinner.
But yeah, she walked up and I go, "Hey, just so you know, all your friends and family are behind you." And then she turned around and she kind of lost it. And like I said, I nailed the proposal part of it. No stutter, no stammer. Like got it all out, and then looked down. And I realized I had the box, so the ring was pointed at her instead of pointing up. And I was like, dummy, because I went no look, pulled it out of the pocket, and just went straight for it. Did the cupped hand situation.
Well, if in 10 years that's the worst memory she has, then I think you're doing okay.
Right? And
it's not like that time 2 years ago, when you crapped all over the floor in the living room, passed out.
Yeah, you always poop on the best moments. But I went to our photographer after we got done doing a bunch of the pictures, and I was like, I had the ring upside down, dude. Can we go back to it? She went in the viewfinder and scrolled all the way back and pulled it up, and my hand is covering it up. So you can't tell.
Oh, okay. All right. Tell.
Bailed out by my own meat hands. But yeah, man. I had a mild heart attack in the hours leading up to it. Wasn't worried about the proposal. It was the setup, keeping it hidden and then setting everything up. We got there. Well, first of all, I had to pick up this big flower arch, and stuffing it into my car I was debating between getting the car or the truck, but I figured if she saw me go grab the truck, it might tip something off. I'm like, we're just going to stuff it in there. And it was. I mean, there was no room. There was no room. I picked that up and 50 long stem white roses, big bouquet. And I couldn't see. My car right now in the parking lot is loaded with it. Like there's nothing. It looks like I'm a florist.
So you've got a flower sale in the parking lot today.
Basically, yes.
Come on down under the Fremont Bridge.
100%. So I got to go drop all that stuff off with who I rented it from, and but I was panicking because I got there. The proposal was at 5. And her best friend was with her stalling because parking down the Vancouver waterfront is always a nightmare. Definitely a nightmare. 4:15 on a Saturday when the weather's nice and it's prom night.
But they have the one parking garage there.
Yeah, well, I will say it is a nice parking garage, but 18-year-old dumbass kids who their parents rented them sports cars for the prom, guess what they do in the parking garage? They sit there and they go very slow and they drive up the center ramp instead of staying in their freaking lane, revving the engine over and over and over again, causing a massive backup in there.
I think my junior year we had a limo. My senior year, I think we rocked the 91 Ford Taurus.
Ooh, there you go.
My prom date my senior year, it happens to be my wife, so she's forgiven me for that, thankfully. When I proposed to my wife, she thought that I was going to propose like 6 weeks previously. And I was like really nervous and super quiet that day, which, if you know me, is kind of a strange thing. She assumed that I was ending the relationship.
Nice.
Yeah. Then I pulled out the ring and she was like, "Oh, thank God."
I had one of those moments about, let's say.
It took me by surprise, I must say.
I was sitting in the house and I was kind of doom scrolling on my phone while she was making the bed. And normally I go in there and help her make the bed, but she was like, "You're kind of zoning out. You okay? Like, you normally help me make the bed. I don't like it when you do that." And I was like, "Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm just not feeling good." And then I told her I had to go to the bathroom like 20 minutes later. She's like, "Are you okay? I feel like you've been in the bathroom a lot." I'm like, "Yeah, I ate a lot of eggs this morning." I was just like, but I wasn't in there going to the bathroom. I was in there like grabbing the counter, like
dry heaving.
No, it was like
Why are you so nervous?
It was
splash a little water in the face.
It was timing. It was just trying to time this all out because I knew that I had to leave before her, but I had to make sure everything was lined up the right way so that to keep it a surprise as long as humanly possible.
Woosah.
And that's and then traffic was a nightmare to go pick up the arch, and then a nightmare to go from there to 205 all the way across, and then parking or dropping off the arch. There's nowhere there, so I just pulled up on the sidewalk, dropped it off, had some friends build it for me while I went and parked. I forgot the Bluetooth speaker, so again, shout out the guy playing the saxophone because I was going to play some music. And it was just like, I'm looking at my watch, I'm looking at where she's at on the phone because we got their location shared. It was just like, and then it was like, I think I got everything done with 15 minutes to go. So it was
to spare.
Yeah.
Half full, Danny, not half empty. It was spare.
And then I saw everyone who was going to be there for the proposal got there before her. Because I was like, either you got to be there early or you got to be late. There's no
in between.
Like if you're walking up and she's walking up, I'm gonna murder you.
If my wife were to see like her cousin there, she'd be like, "Why is she? Oh yeah, what?
Yeah. So like family and friends, I was like, hey guys, also I need your locations turned off on your phone. She can't see that you're descending on the location. Like, so it was just like this, Operation Secret Squirrel situation.
Little did she know it was actually a giant intervention. All of her family was there, including you, to convince her not to be with you.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, you were like, these guys bring up good points.
They bring up good points. And so that was the thing is, afterwards she said, she was thrilled. Everything went perfect. And I was like, well, except for your terrible choice of men, I think everything went great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now.
I showed my wife the picture. She said you guys looked very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
She even said, why can't you be skinny like Danny? I was like, thanks, babe.
Well, you can if you want to suffer just brutally for I don't know, a year. And I still need to lose 20 more. That's the other thing is I got to lose 20 more pounds between me now and the wedding. Now we start wedding planning. So and it's going to be here relatively soon.
I like that 6 months ago you lived in Newburgh and proposed in Vancouver. You're coming to Vancouver.
No.
Yeah, you are.
If we move anywhere, it's Texas.
Oh, hey. Oh. Breaking news again here.
Yeah, no.
Full of surprises.
Now, if we move anywhere, it'll probably be Texas or Tennessee or something like that.
The Vancouver waterfront is great.
It was beautiful. Could not have asked for a better day.
Unless you're from Vancouver, then you're just like, I hate this place.
What is that place here? Is it in Portland? Is it 23rd?
No.
It's got to be.
I would say the
spots
Pearl.
on the Willamette.
Yeah, waterfront.
I would say the Pearl. Probably.
Where we are.
I account the Pearl on the other side of the 405.
I mean,
I know.
100 yards away.
I know, but still. And a little further south. I would say the Pearl. I still like 23rd. I still go to 23rd from time to time.
I mean, we did it yesterday.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but we live in Wilsonville, so it's like, you know what I mean? Like, if you live in Portland, do you avoid 23rd like the plague?
No.
Like, if you live in Portland, what's the area of town you avoid?
For me, it's the Pearl.
Why?
There's a lot of stuff going on there that I'm not super interested in.
Such as?
The homeless.
Oh, weird.
The parking.
Little NIMBY, huh?
Yeah, the parking. And I don't know, not my favorite restaurants and bars. Like, I got other neighborhood stuff that I enjoy.
To be clear, we were walking on 23rd, and there was a guy pretty clearly passed out on drugs on the sidewalk that we had to kind of.
Oh, brother, you need to go up to Lombard if you want some real action.
No, it was one of those situations. It was full on Dave Chappelle. It was like, get a job, Grouch. Just stepping over him. You know, he's got food strewn out everywhere. It's like, wow, just in the middle of the sidewalk, huh? Like, all right.
Oakley dokley. Congratulations to you, Danny. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We are heavy basketball today. Woo! There's a lot of basketball to get into today. The NBA draft lottery happened, which I'm going to make fun of the majority of Blazer fans for the freak out fest they had during the draft lottery.
Yeah.
We'll have some fun with that. We have a Giannis update. Victor Wembanyama and his stuff, Darren Peterson, Steve Kerr. There's a lot to get to. And guess what, Danny? By the end of this show, I'll bet you the Portland Trailblazers are still in Portland.
Oh, no way.
When we come back, Minnesota continues to fight. Hey, dubs are dubs. NBA playoffs next. 105.1 The Fan. The most. 10:19 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it, baby. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge, like we always are. 503-864-6326. That's the fan text line. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire show. You can also jump over on the YouTubes. 1051 The Fan is the channel. Like and subscribe. A quick also local shout out to the Portland Fire, who had their successful home opener over the weekend. 19,000 and change at the Moda Center. They should have a nice season, Danny, from attendance level, and we'll see if the team can build. I was listening to the Morning Boys, Dirt and Sprague this morning, and I heard Brandon say that they play at least an entertaining style of basketball, which sometimes when you watch teams that aren't going to be very good, it is very difficult. Like RIP Sporting Kansas City fans, watching that team is not fun.
I mean, that's always going to help.
Yeah, you can be bad. If you're bad but are kind of entertaining, that's okay.
That's kind of what it comes down to. Is like, if you're going to suck or if you're going to lose, be entertaining while you do it.
Totally. So shout out to the Fire for a very successful weekend. Luke Anderson told me that Ashanti was pretty solid.
I mean, of course she is.
I know. I can't believe I didn't go. Ashanti, dude?
Well,
that's like in my wheelhouse.
But I mean, it's pretty easy to say why you didn't go. It was sold out.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's always that.
He was in the club box with a client. Fancy dancy. The Minnesota Timberwolves last night defeat the San Antonio Spurs 114-109. There's obviously the Victor Wembanyama situation we'll get to in a second here. But I just want to look, I've decided that the Minnesota Timberwolves are my team that I'm rooting for in this playoffs. It's really nothing against San Antonio. I just kind of like the fight and desire, and I feel like they're all kind of really interlocked with each other. I also love Anthony Edwards. He had 36 points, 13 of 22, 3 of 5 from downtown, 6 boards, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, not so great. But the fact that he is a bionic man and can come back and play the level he can, he's just so damn fun to watch.
Well, that and the Timberwolves were able to get to the paint more effectively.
Yeah, that does help.
Weird how that helps. And again, this isn't to take away from the Timberwolves win because it's the same reason we gave for the Blazers getting their win. Like, yeah, when you don't have the most effective and determinate defensive player on the face of the planet, maybe in the history of the game, things look easier.
I saw this funny moment, too, late in the game. I was listening to the broadcast, and somebody said, I don't remember which one of them said it, but it was like, these are those kind of moments when Victor Wembanyama's not on the floor. You really have to take advantage of those and have plus minutes in scoring. And I was like, some people have been saying this for a long time, Doris.
Yeah. It's like,
Doris.
Yeah, it's a really good time to go ahead and do that. And that was, going to the Timberwolves side of things. Last game, I figured, Finchie was going to go ahead and pull Ant back a little bit, and then now it's, hey, here's 40 minutes, dog.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he's become, it's proven, and everybody on the team, whether it's Jaden McDaniels, I think he was the post-game interview with Melo and McGrady and Vince Carter after the game, and he was just kind of like, put the ball in Ant's hands and let him go. He knows he's going to get the rock, and he's going to do his thing, and he's fun to watch. But to your point, I mean, Rudy Gobert in the paint was a lot more effective last night as a defender, as a playmaker, just kind of as a solid force, because at the end of the day, Victor Wembanyama goes out. Shout out to Naz Reid, not just for 15 points, but for taking one for the team. That probably did not feel very good.
Oh, no, there's no probably about it. That he got smoked, and we'll get to that a little bit later, but De'Aaron Fox had a bad game. Could not put ball in hoop. And here's the thing. This is where I keep going back to, like, the Timberwolves, they've got a real chance. This is the same thing as game one. Timberwolves played well, Spurs didn't. Again, it was almost the exact same situation. It was 4 points in the first game. It's 5 points in this game. What happened to the games in between?
Wemby.
Ding, 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 ding. And that's what we're talking about with this Spurs team. I picked them to go to the finals, but you can still see some soft spots in them because they're figuring stuff out.
Yeah, and you can see it, too, from a mentality side as well. It's not just playing together and physicality. Steph Castle, if you look at his numbers last night, 37 minutes, 20 points, 8 of 17, 2 of 6 from downtown, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. A good game, but kind of absent.
Little muted.
In a game when Wemby has 12 minutes and then he's ejected from the game, you expect De'Aaron Fox to do stuff like that. Where is Julian Champagnie? Okay? Where is Vassell, who have been key, huge players for them? It starts to have me ask the question, when does Dylan Harper get more minutes?
I mean, Harper was awesome.
Find me a game when Harper hasn't been awesome. No. And that might be what Mitch Johnson doesn't want to mess with.
No, yeah, it's a weapon coming off the bench. And he played 27 last night. 27 minutes, 24 points, 8 of 11, 7 boards. You're just like, and 3 steals. It's like, you take a look at it. It's kind of interesting. He was so productive in that period, but he was the only one who could score in that period. He was and that's really what it comes down to. He was a minus 14 in those 27 minutes, and you're just like, again, I'm not a huge plus minus guy in individual games, but when a game is within a margin of victory of 5, and somebody's a minus 15, minus 20, and you go, that's weird. That guy was 8 of 11. He had 3 steals. He had 2 turnovers. So you're turning somebody else over more than you're turning the ball over. That's always a solid little point.
I think that is a good thing.
It's like, yeah, I had 2 turnovers. Like, yeah, but you forced 3. Like, what do those transition opportunities kind of lead into? And you just kind of look at it like, okay, things were pretty much even in points conceded off turnovers. It was 19 for the Spurs, 21 for the Timberwolves. Like, okay, well, where did this thing go sideways at? Well, free throws is 27 to 22. Like, okay, things are pretty good there. And then you go 3-point shooting. Oh, found it. That was literally the difference in this game. The Spurs couldn't hit their threes, and the Timberwolves hit just enough to squeak it out.
And kind of back to your point about them still learning right now, they outscored the Timberwolves 28-20 in the third quarter. I'm watching that game, and I'm like, wow. No, Wemby, this is how dangerous this team is. They are still going to pull this victory out, and they weren't able to, and they got kind of smoked in the fourth quarter, and that's the learning curve they're going to have to figure out. Yes, Wemby is one of the most dominant players we've ever seen when he's on the court, but you also have a cast of characters around you that can still win basketball games and high-level basketball games. Again, it goes back to Julian Champagnie and Devin Vassell. And Steph Castle, your numbers might look good, and yeah, he's a +8, but to your point again about plus-minuses being strange, I didn't think Steph Castle had that much of an impact.
The playoffs is where you really start to get the killers. I mean, this is where we all look and we start to go, all right, who's a guy, who's not a guy?
It's a sorting hat.
When you don't have a guy on the other side, Anthony Edwards is just going to go in. He looks across and goes, I'm the only dude on this court now. I'm going to go in. He didn't do that in Game 3. He was really absent in Game 3.
He was still trying to find it.
Exactly. No. And during that time, Wembanyama was being the dude. Wembanyama was throwing dunks on Rudy Gobert's head and then making Rudy Gobert try to guard him at 40 feet. There was a sequence in Game 3 where Wemby hit a shot from 35 feet, went up,
puts the ball on the floor and
put
goes.
the ball on the floor up against Rudy, and then on the next possession, then nails a 40-footer.
Yeah.
Julius Randle, okay?
You want to ride that train?
I'm riding this train. It's just, when you're talking about guys needing to step up, look, 12 points ain't a whole lot, but Julius Randle is probably, dare I say, hustling more than anyone on either team on the court.
Look,
that guy is playing.
He has 2 settings.
He is playing balls to the wall.
Yep, it's berserk or not there. Again, in this, it's kind of like bull riding. When Randall's when he's playing like that, sometimes you're gonna get bucked. He had 6 turnovers, and it's just like stuff just happens with Julius.
Still a +12 with 6 turnovers.
That's the thing. Is like you look who's around him. There's the hot hand theory of like when a player gets hot. I'm not saying Julius said that, but like you just know, you just feed it. Like you just, hey man, this guy's Klay Thompson, 60 points on 11 dribbles. Like just get him the ball and let him go. Right? Certain guys have juice. They just do. Like Draymond Green has juice. Like that's just the reality. Kawhi Leonard doesn't say a word. He's got juice. Like
on the court, yeah.
Like sometimes, like Ant Edwards has juice, like
all the time.
But that's what I mean. Like we've like James Harden, 0 juice, juiceless in the playoffs. Like you're just like, I want nothing to do with that. Donovan Mitchell,
decade and a half.
Donovan Mitchell on the other side. Mitch has got crazy playoff numbers. Crazy. Like you just look at who's gonna be a dude, and then you've got role player dudes. Bruce Bowen, Bruce Brown, like Raja Bell, like dudes who show up.
Those in this series, Naz Reid.
Not like again, but not where has this Minnesota Timberwolves team been the last 2 years? The Western Conference Finals. They ain't seen anything new. Like the thing that killed them was SGA and Luka. That's what killed them. Like so,
and this time might be Wemby.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, I got killed by a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, our guy who looks like he has the potential to maybe be one of those isn't quite ready for that yet. And that's not a bad thing. How old is Ant now?
24.
Yeah, he'll be 25 in August. So guess what? It's ascension time. He's been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals.
And I would argue a top 5 entertaining player in the league.
Oh, hands down.
Entertaining.
Entertaining.
I don't know if he's
Hands
top
down.
5 best player, but entertaining, he's top
also
5.
a killer. He's a playoff killer. Like, dudes rise. Like, Mike Conley, 8 points, 2 of 2 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 assists, no or 1 turnover. Just like, oh, weird. In 11 minutes, plus 10. Weird.
That's what he does.
Having reliable, productive dudes outside of your contributors is like we always talk about, what do the stars do? What do the stars do? What do stars do? Show me your role players and I'll show you where you got.
And that's why I think San Antonio still should have won this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the deeper team. I think they're the more talented from top to
But
bottom.
Fox kind of pooped.
Yeah.
I don't normally kill single players, but if you're gonna go 8 of 23, you can't go also 1 of 7 from 3. Like, he got to the free throw line, but went 7 to 10, left a little meat on the bone there. But you got to give me something somewhere else.
I know spacing gets harder when Wemby's not on the floor and you have Rudy Gobert down there.
Because he's going to play off Cornet.
You got to let it fly then.
Yeah.
Game 5 tomorrow in San Antonio. The Timberwolves tied up 2-2, 114, 109. The Spurs. We'll get to Wemby and the ejection and some suspension stuff from the Big Nooner. Have a little larger discussion about that situation. But let's flip it over to the East Side. Anybody going to stop him? Anybody going to stop him at this point? And I'm about to eat my shoe because of it. We'll do that next. There's Casey with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, some NBA playoff updates for you as the Timberwolves tied the series back at 2-2 as they took down the Spurs 114 to 109 last night. Victor Wembanyama received his first career ejection after throwing an elbow at the jaw of Naz Reid early in the second quarter. Anthony Edwards paid homage to his late mother and grandmother on Mother's Day as he then finished with 36 points in the Timberwolves' victory. The New York Knicks wrapped up the sweep of the 76ers last night as they took Game 4 144 to 114 as 6 Knicks finished the game in double figures. We have 2 Game 4 matchups slated for tonight as the Cavaliers host the Detroit Pistons in Cleveland at 5 p.m. And over in the Western Conference, LeBron and the Lakers hope to avoid elimination as they face off against OKC for Game 4. Your Portland Timbers dominated Sporting Kansas City as they posted their largest margin of victory in club's history, beating KC 6-0 on Saturday. Saturday marked the first time Portland has scored 6 goals in a match since May of 22, with goals coming from Kevin Kelsey, Christopher Velda, Cole Bassett, and Ari Lassiter. And finally, some NFL news for you as the Pittsburgh Steelers have agreed to terms with kicker Chris Boswell on a 4-year, $28 million extension, tying him with Brandon Aubrey as the NFL's highest-paid kicker and now tying him with the franchise through 2030. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher.
This coach is back in the NBA for a 2-year deal, and I think it's more about players playing for 2 more years than him coaching for 2 more years. We'll get to that in a moment. But we'll slide over into the East, and look, we'll get into some Lakers talk a little bit later, just because of how bad somebody was the other day. The other series that happened over the weekend, there's not really much to say, but I did feel it was great to kind of give the Knicks a little light of day here. Look, I've been totally wrong on this. I am not a fan of the makeup of the team. It's not my style of play. It's not my guys. Like, Mikal Bridges 5 years ago was really cool, but I struggle with him a lot right now. Karl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson is not my idea of a superstar. This team might be the wagon in the East. And if you're Detroit, you gave me a look, Danny. You still like Detroit in this series?
I do, and the look was more of like me parsing it out of my head. Maybe it's because I just don't like Cat as a player.
I don't like the entire roster construction.
I mean,
this team can
I like
go
Bridges
deep.
and OG, but the terrifying thing is they did this without OG.
I love OG.
I mean, I love.
He's the only guy I really love.
OG,
and Josh Hart.
Yeah, OG, Bridges, and Hart. Like, that's a group that I really like. But does this kind of have like destiny feels coming out of the East situation? Because they shot 54-57. Like, they have 4 games so far in the postseason where it has been 2K set on easy. That's like the kind of shooting that they have had. They went 25 of 44 from the 3-point line.
They are handling the Sixers better than they handled the Hawks, and I would argue the Sixers right now are playing better than the Hawks are.
Yes,
with Embiid healthy, etc. The full group is together, is what I would say. Now, they are not playing well. That's the problem. But the full group is healthy, and we saw them in a game look pretty good. I mean, they knocked out Boston pretty handedly. Mm-hmm. And we saw there was one game in this series. There was one game in this series with the Knicks and the Sixers where I thought the Sixers played really well. They just lost.
Yeah.
And
game 2 without Embiid.
Yeah, and that happens. And that happens.
And if you get that game, there's no telling how different a series can go. But I think the Knicks are playing with confidence, and obviously
Mitchell Robinson is a bruiser right now, and he's making centers pay.
Yeah, I mean, Embiid was nearly flawless in that game, though.
Yeah, but he's just right now physically. Mitchell Robinson is creating enough problem for him where you can just let Cat do Cat things.
Oh yeah, no, that's Mitch's MO. Mitch is a huge dude, very strong, very mobile, doesn't need the ball, was gonna work hard, gonna grab. I mean, him, Donovan Clingan, Steven Adams, those are your 3 best offensive rebounders in the NBA.
I just think that matchup creates a big problem for Philly in the same way that maybe in the next round against a Cleveland or Detroit, it doesn't do the same.
Yeah, I mean, like a guy like Jalen Duren is a truck.
Or even a Mobley or a Jared Allen.
Yeah, there's no shortage of that where it's just Embiid for Philly. And I want to give Embiid credit because he's playing through, obviously, a ton and did not miss a shot. What did he end up going? Was it 8 of 8? Yeah, 8 of 8, 2 of 2 from 3, missed 1 free throw, 6 of 7.
Including a shot at the GM.
I mean,
when I first read that quote, the quote was, I don't know if I'll be here next year. We'll see. When I first read that quote, because I read it before I saw it, and when I first read the quote, my thought was, well, yeah, if Luka can get traded, anyone can get traded. Because Philly's got some serious questions they have to ask this offseason about the future of their program. And then I watched it and was like, that guy don't want to be in Philly anymore.
I mean, it's not only I think doesn't want to be.
You want to go to Milwaukee, buddy? Come on down, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Well, that's the thing is, like, who's going to trade for Joel Embiid right now?
Not me.
That's
an expensive guy that doesn't play very much.
Yeah, it's a lot of injuries, man. Like, you're going to be there.
Sure.
Like, people are like, well, AD got traded. I'm like, well, Embiid's better than AD. Like, what are we doing here?
Again, the 30 games you'll get Joel Embiid for will be worth it.
Yeah.
But again,
that's like,
doesn't outweigh it.
Those are very real injury concerns. Like that is the reddest of red flags. Joel Embiid, then Anthony Davis is probably number 2 on that list. I mean, when a guy's name is street clothes stuff, but it's going to be interesting to see what Philly does or doesn't do. Not necessarily around just Embiid, but just in general. Like their franchise cornerstones right now are both guys that are 6'4" and smaller.
In VJ and Maxey.
It's hard to win with small guards.
Hello, Neil O'Shea.
And again, you're talking about 2 of my favorite small guards.
Yeah, whether it was Dame and Wes Matthews or Dame and CJ,
Well, Wes is
a little bigger, fair enough. But Dame CJ was the big run of O'Shea's time. That's what we always said. It's just like you can't. It's really hard to win with small guards.
It's hard to win with
unless you are
small guard.
locked down defenders,
or your offense is so overwhelming and you have a secondary defender. It makes sense.
It's tough too because if somebody said to me that the Sixers were shopping Tyrese Maxey or VJ Edgecombe, you'd be like, "What are you doing?" Mm-hmm. But you're right. Also, what's the market for Paul George? Is there a market for Kelly Oubre, or are you trying to keep Kelly Oubre around?
That's the thing is, like, we always talk about,
you have a lot of money on the books and more coming.
The end of the regular season, you're like, oh, okay, these teams are going to do this, these teams are going to do this. What's Boston going to do since they got punted out of the playoffs by a Sixers team in 7 games? Like, we've just got the ESPN pushed report about Giannis is officially on the block. I was like, yeah, dog, that was 8 months ago or 18 months ago. Like, we all know that. But there's also the line in there about Giannis is going to decide where he goes. And I'm like, all right, cool. We're doing the agent thing now. But what does that do? Like, Boston right now is a team that is a favorite to land Giannis.
And Boston, we'll get to Giannis a little bit later as well. Boston is a team that felt like they were pretty close to be in the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA
And if they're
Finals.
willing to shake it up, who else is willing to shake it up?
I was also going to say, you got beat pretty handedly by a Sixers team that we're all looking at right now going, this is a disaster. And you were kind of handed one by them.
It makes you take those 82 games and go, are we an 82-game team or a 16-game team?
Well, I think Brad Stevens, that's what he was kind of mentioning in Boston's exit interviews, was like, there was a lot of teams tanking this year. There's a lot of bad teams. And we were the benefit of playing a lot of bad teams, and we beat all those bad teams. Mm-hmm. Next year's not going to be the same. And that's why he's looking at it. And I think the Sixers have to kind of look at themselves in the same way. We'll have plenty of time to wax poetically about the New York Knicks because they are going to win this series most likely tomorrow. The Sixers are dead. There is no way they go into the Garden tomorrow and win a game. No way.
I mean, it's over.
Oh, sorry, it is over. Yeah. But even if it wasn't over, like there is.
You made me pause for a second.
Sorry, I expressed that wrong. If they were to go into the Garden tomorrow, there's no way they were going to win that game. Mm-hmm. Not after a performance this. You killed them. They're dead.
Yeah,
they're dead already. Stop.
And now it becomes okay. What does the next version look like? And this is where, the NBA Combine starting today or tomorrow, and then this next period. Formations of deals is starting right now. Like you've got all the general managers, they're all in Chicago for the Combine, and you're going to start putting frameworks together around things. And over the next 6 weeks between now and the draft, stuff's going to happen, man. Like, and so, what does Daryl Morey do? What does Bucks general manager Horst do? Like, what does Orlando do? Like, what?
Who's in a tougher situation right now? Side tangent. Who's in a more difficult situation going into these talks? I'll give you the Blazers. Mm-hmm. The Bucks, the Sixers, and the Celtics
76ers
are in the toughest spot.
Yeah, Bucks are resetting. They're resetting.
And Boston has options. Yeah. They could run it back.
And Blazers control the keys to the kingdom.
Blazers have the easiest of those four.
You can maybe say Boston just because they've got Tatum and Brown.
And they could just roll it back.
They have options. They don't have quite the capital. Like if they want Giannis, like they're going to have to figure something else out with Portland. That's kind of the nature of that beast.
I think the Sixers, last point and we'll get out of here. I think the Sixers are also a shining example of just because you have superstars doesn't mean you have a title window. And I said superstars as a plural.
Oh, yeah, no.
They got 3 of them and a kid named VJ that you and I love a lot.
Oh, for sure. And look, I subscribe to the Daryl Morey, the Moreyism. Do you have a 5% chance at winning an NBA title? If so, go. Because you don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'll go back to last year. Tyrese Halliburton's Achilles doesn't pop. The Pacers win a title. I will stand on that.
If Luka plays in this playoff, different story out of the West.
Yeah. OKC's probably going, this is probably at worst 2-2. Mm-hmm. At worst. And that's not a shot at OKC. It's just Luka's kryptonite, that organization.
And OKC is up 3-0, and they haven't played a good game yet.
They've kind of packed it up.
Which is really scary. Yeah. Let's take a pause. Let's stay in the Western Conference as this head coach has signed a new 2-year deal. Rumors that he might retire. I think this puts the writing on the wall for everybody. We'll go there next. 105.1 The Fan.
myself undressed. I ain't ready.
Coming up in hour number deuce, we're a heavy basketball show today. I do want to get to the NBA draft lottery, as our good buddy Jasmine over there in the chat wants to know our thoughts, your thoughts, Danny, specifically, about the changes as we see the last year of these odds. And then we'll chat a little Darren Peterson as well and that weird situation going on. Web Gems as well in hour number 2, and also what the hell is going on with DeAndre Ayton. But let's stick here. Steve Kerr signs a new 2-year deal to stay with Golden State Warriors. There was a lot of conversation, some body language at the end of the year that made it seem pretty obvious that Steve Kerr is near the end of his time, if not at the end of his time. Golden State's in a really weird spot of some aging superstars, aging Hall of Famers, aging top 10, top 5 greatest player of all time in Steph Curry, that they've really got to make some decisions. Now, Steve Kerr deciding to come back for 2 years tells me that Steph and Draymond have 2 more years.
Well, also Steve likes $30+ million.
Well, yes, that's
the thing that I found out. Steve Kerr really likes having $30+ million, which he wasn't going to get from ESPN, NBC, or Amazon.
You think he'll go into TV afterwards?
Yeah, 100%.
You don't think he just takes some time off and chills out a little bit?
No, he'll go be a studio guy that goes and sits in the same studio and is close to his family as humanly possible without having to travel the road all the time.
He looks tired.
He's going to become Tracy Carmelo's. He's going to become their Ernie.
Yeah, wherever he goes, like Kerr was an analyst.
I remember.
Like, he went from that job into the front office for the Suns, and then from the front office to coaching. His path is crazy.
And he was not a very good front office guy.
I would say he was okay.
Okay,
yeah,
really?
Yeah,
I always remember everybody banging on him hard.
No, I'd say he did a pretty good job, but it was definitely strange for him to go from the front office to coaching a first time and then go take over the Warriors after Mark Jackson.
He was also handed a quite nice team. I think Mark Jackson would have got there as well.
Yeah,
maybe not 4, but definitely 1.
Yeah, the people were like, Steve Kerr did this. And I'm like, no, Steph Curry's ankles stopped being made of glass.
Yes.
That's what happened. Also, Steve Kerr was forced to play Draymond Green because David Lee was injured. This whole, Steve Kerr's a genius. No, David Lee was hurt. That's why Draymond Green had to play.
Andrew Bogut played the 5.
Yeah.
They had a guy.
David Lee was hurt, so Dre had to play. And they went, this guy's kind of good.
And is that why they drafted everyone at Draymond's position for that entire run?
Yeah.
For 10 years, they went, let me get a big forward who plays defense.
David Lee is going to be in the pantheon of names that is mentioned to me in 20 years, and I go, I remember that guy.
David Lee was good.
Good little player.
Good little player.
Yeah.
Double-double.
Florida.
You just said him now. You said David Lee, and I was like, good player.
He was 18 and 10 guy for 8 years.
He's like a poor man Kevin Love.
Yeah, he was. Not just because he was white, but he was good.
Mostly because he's white.
Yeah, but he's also great post footwork. But he takes that job, and that's it. That's it. Steph's got 2 more years. Steph's 36 or 37, maybe. Don't do that 6'7" to me. God, that's right. He turned 38 in March. So, yeah, Steph plays till 40.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny? This made me remember this. I had a conversation with Dame 5 years ago, maybe longer. Let's say 5 years. We'll say pre-COVID. We'll go with that. So 5-6 years ago. And I remember talking to him and going, how long do you want to play for? No, it was right after he signed his last deal with Portland. That's what it was. So it was at 22, so 4 years ago. I was like, how long do you want to play for? He goes, through the end of that extension. I go, you're not going to push it? You're not going to, because Chris Paul had kept going. I'm like, you're not going to CP3 this? He's like, nah.
Dude, CP3 in the end is not great.
No, but no, he just kind of kept going and going. And, the very end was sad. That was not good. But he's like, I'm going to get out of here. If I ask him now, he'll be like, I could sign one more. And I think, if you've still got it, go. Braun still has it.
Sure.
Steph still has it. KD still has it. And we could argue about,
how much do they have?
How many guys in the league right now are currently better than Steph, KD, or Braun?
Probably not many.
15?
Less than 20?
Less than 20. They're all 3 are still top 20 guys.
A lot of it depends on how your team's made up. LeBron can't be your scorer. Can't be your number one scorer.
He can't be your number one.
No. He can't be. No. Now, everything else.
But here's the thing. He can. You don't want him to be.
There you go.
That's the difference. Steph still needs to be.
For them specifically, yes.
KD, Still needs to be, because that's where Steph and KD are the two most prolific shooters in the history of the league.
Well, KD also needs to be for his own self.
Yes, they're like, to keep that happy. But Steph is maybe the most unique offensive player in the history of the game. His gravity is further out than anybody else's, and the way he runs around the floor and plays off of guys and doesn't need the ball to be that productive is crazy. But you now have Steph Curry, who's going to play into probably 40 years. 40 years old. Like, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, because most small guards, or I shouldn't say small guards, he's
a small guard.
He's 6'4". Like, he's not a wing. Like,
I know, but if we
they start losing stuff. But what him and Dame have is the ability to shoot. Like, that's the thing. Is like, that is their separator. And because they're so like, even if Dame comes back at 75%, he's going to be very productive because of how he's treated. Because he's still going to be, the man made 1,000 out of 1,012 threes. Like, or it was 1,112 threes. Like, the guy is like a dyed-in-the-wool shooting monster. Like, him and Steph, they're going to continue to be guys as long as their bodies can take the grind of 82.
Does Draymond see this out?
I think Dre's gone. I think he knows that writing's on the wall, which is why he said what he said on the podcast. In order for LeBron James and or Kawhi Leonard to end up in Golden State, Jimmy and Dre got to go. So,
who's going to take Jimmy? That's an ACL recovery and a lot of money.
Well, do you think that maybe the Clippers want to be out of the Kawhi business?
Yeah, maybe. The NBA would like the Clippers out of the Kawhi business.
Something to ponder.
Poor Jimmy Butler.
So now Golden State could ride into the sunset with a version of Steph, Braun, Kawhi.
That's got Karl Malone Lakers written all over it.
Oh, no. Those guys are way better than Malone.
How do they get Giannis, too?
That's Shaquille O'Neal Celtics right there.
No. Those guys are both, like, we saw Kawhi. We saw LeBron. Like, reminder, LeBron's still playing.
Plays tonight?
He still got it.
Speaking of the Clippers, they find themselves in a fascinating situation as the NBA draft lottery happened yesterday and nobody watched, except for me. I actually watched live. A lot to unpack from it. We'll have a conversation. And Blazer fans, I'm coming after you. 105.1 The Fan.
You love your life.
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This sports update is brought to you by Reynolds Defense Firm. If you've been arrested for a DUI, you need a team of attorneys that you can put your trust into. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today, online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on the Fan, some NBA playoff updates for you as the Timberwolves tied the series back at 2-2 as they took down the Spurs 114-109 last night. Victor Wembanyama received his first career ejection after throwing an elbow at the jaw of Naz Reid early in the second quarter. Anthony Edwards paid homage to his late mother and grandmother on Mother's Day as he finished the night with 36 points in the Timberwolves' victory. The New York Knicks wrapped up the sweep of the 76ers last night as they took Game 4, 144-114, as 6 Knicks finished the game in double figures. We have 2 Game 4 matchups slated for tonight as the Cavaliers host the Detroit Pistons in Cleveland at 5 p.m. And over in the Western Conference, LeBron and the Lakers hope to avoid elimination as they face off against OKC for Game 4. Your Portland Timbers dominated Sporting Kansas City as they posted the largest margin of victory in club's history, beating KC 6-0 on Saturday. Saturday also marked the first time Portland has scored 6 goals in a match since May of 2022, with goals coming from Kevin Kelsey, Christopher Velda, Cole Bassett, and Ari Lassiter. And finally, some NFL news for you, as the Pittsburgh Steelers have agreed to terms with kicker Chris Boswell on a 4-year, $28 million extension, tying him with Brandon Aubrey as the NFL's highest-paid kicker and tying him with the franchise through 2030. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lower Case from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris.
Hour number deuce here. If you're missing the first hour, you can download that, the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. If you missed the sunrise, guys, this morning, you can check that out, 1051thefan.com, or the YouTubes. If you can't catch Primetime Live tonight or the Happy Hour, you can find those wherever you get your podcasts, including the Odyssey app, Rewind, Fast Forward, except for in the future. For that would be impossible. We'll spend a little time on the draft here. We do need to check in on this Darren Peterson creatine situation. We'll have web gems. And a former Trailblazer has been benched to the point where nobody will talk to him. So a lot to get to this hour. But, Danny, we'll start in the NBA draft lottery results. I actually watched this thing live. I had a hilarious moment with my wife. I said, babe, I got to watch the NBA draft lottery at noon. And she was like, oh, my God. She assumed that meant I was going to the bar and going to be gone for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, no, it's over pretty quick.
And I said, no, babe, it's a half hour. And she goes, oh, okay. She sat on the couch and watched it with me.
There you go.
And then we took a nap. That's how exhilarating it was.
There you go.
It was after the draft. I fell asleep because the Knicks were already up by 40.
It's over.
But the results are as very, I'll be quick about this. At 14 going up, you have the Charlotte Hornets, the Miami Heat, OKC, Golden State, Milwaukee, Dallas, Atlanta, Sacramento, Brooklyn, the Clippers, Chicago, Memphis, Utah, and the number 1 pick is the Washington Wizards. The first thing I will say about this, Danny, is we avoided the absolute chaos that would have been OKC, Golden State, or Dallas being in the top 3. We avoided that. All the bad case, the thing is rigged stuff was gone out the door. Although I saw some memes on the internet that said rigging the draft to make sure the draft doesn't look rigged.
There you go.
choice.
There you go. That's galaxy brain stuff.
Yes.
So for the first time since the new lottery system, which came in 2020, the team with the best odds, or one of the teams with the best odds, won the lottery. It's the first time it's happened, which is kind of crazy to think about it, but that's where it was. The Wizards winning the lottery is gross. I don't like it. Any of the tanking teams winning the lottery is always just like, ugh.
I agree, but on the Wizards front right now, I mean, it depends on what they want to do with Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Trae Young, Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr, and fill in the blank. That's a decent little team in the East.
Oh, sure. You know, they have, I mean, AJ DeBonce is sitting there looking like Eli Manning on draft night. Like, nope.
No, thank you.
I'm going to Utah. I'm very interested to see what Austin Ainge does. Do they offer up, their pick and Keontae George or something along those lines, like something juicy to Washington to be like, hey, well, we want AJ DeBonce. Like, what do you want? Do you want the number 2 pick? Would you like Darren Peterson and Keontae George, and you don't have to worry about Bub Carrington anymore? Like, how about 2 really good guards? That's the situation you could be looking at. But
and everybody knows Utah wants AJ.
And AJ wants Utah.
Yeah.
Like, for those that don't know, the owner, Ryan Smith of the Utah Jazz, and the former president of basketball operations, Danny Ainge, both went to BYU and both made sizable donations to BYU that may or may not have been directly funneled to AJ DeBonce to go to BYU.
I think one of the biggest winners of this draft, just to look at it, are the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, going from 9 to 4 is huge.
That's great. They could really, really use it. And, if the Blazers would have just not made the playoffs, then they would have had the number 4 pick, right? Isn't that how that worked?
Yeah, no. People are conflating the Bulls' actual pick with the Blazers' pick that was 15th, which was not in the lottery for some reason.
Dude, the internet was having a field day. Initial reactions, I can't believe the Blazers went to the playoffs. These idiots. We could have Caleb Wilson.
Yeah, it's like, that's not what happened, guys. Like, and you weren't going to get down to 9.
No.
That was the whole thing. It's like the lowest you were going to fall was 10. Like, that was if you hoped and prayed.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
otherwise, you're Golden State or OKC or Charlotte. Like, you knew you were going to be over there.
So you were going to end up either picking 1 through 4 or 10 through 14. So that's where you were going to end up. And nobody in that group from 10 through 14 jumped up.
A slight loser in this draft are the Brooklyn Nets. I think being at 6 is pretty brutal.
Sucks to suck. Oh, wait, no, you're going to be drafting another point guard.
I know.
After drafting, 3 of them last year?
They've got a starting 5 under 6'5". That'll be the first time in NBA history. Vince Carter, poor Vince Carter, looks so miserable on TV. But nobody looked more miserable than TJ McConnell. The biggest loser of the draft is, without a doubt, the Indiana Pacers. That's why the Clippers got that pick. Not because they didn't make the playoffs. That's not their pick because they didn't make the playoffs.
That's the pick that they traded for Ivica Zubac that had protections of 1 through 4 and 9 through 14. If it fell 5, 6, 7, or 8, they got the pick.
Blazer fans had a rough 20 minutes until reality crept in and they actually figured out what the hell was going on.
I was one of those.
Casey talked to me this morning. He was like, wasn't that the Blazer? I was like, Casey did? No. Not at all.
That was not it.
But good move for the Clippers at 5. It's huge. Depending on what they do with Kawhi Leonard, like they have Darius Garland. This is a real opportunity for them to reset and get themselves a great player. Darius Acuff and Darius Garland, double Ds. Like that'd be a nice backcourt for them. Or does Caleb Wilson fall? Does Cam Boozer fall all the way? Like they're going to be happy of those top 5 guys, whoever lands to them. And the Pacers missing out, I think, is really, really unfortunate for them. And I want to give a massive shout out to Kevin Pritchard, the GM for the Indiana Pacers, who said, it's on me. I took a calculated risk. I thought we had a good shot. It lands on me. However, we still love Zubac, and we needed a center.
His exact quote is, I'm really sorry to all our fans. I own taking the risk. And look, they ran these simulations. They ran the numbers. Like these front offices, they're running the numbers, the probabilities, all these things before they make any transaction that includes draft capital.
They knew it was a risk.
And he says, surprised it came up 5th after this year. I thought we were due some luck. Because, again, the Pacers, remember, are not a team that have picked in the top since, 80... So actually, in the lottery era. I think the last time they picked 1 or 2 was Rick Smits. Was that 85?
Because Reggie is like 11th or 12th overall.
They historically...
88.
Okay. No, second, right?
Yeah, number 2.
So they're not a team that have been there because they're always winning like 40 to 48 games. This is the first year they've ever bottomed out, and they had a good reason to. Their best player tore his Achilles in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. If any team ever deserved the ability to go, we're going to take a gap year. It's that team.
And they also had their star during the run in the 2010s had a double compound fracture during Team USA.
Yeah, and Paul George folding his leg like an accordion. But Pritchard said, I'm surprised he came up fifth this year. I thought we were due some luck, but please remember, this team deserved a starting center to compete with the best teams next year. We have always been resilient. And look, if Hallie comes back and Hallie is every bit of Hallie, Siakam, and Zubac, it's a good team.
It's a good team.
It's a good team. And look, Pritchard and Buchanan, that front office, they're really good. They work on the margins really well. Let's see what they can do.
And the Clippers not having a first-round draft pick and getting that fifth was just absolutely huge for them. I know, it's annoying. It's not rigged. It's not rigged, but it is super annoying. Danny, let me ask you, now that you see the draft lottery and you see where some people are, let's take maybe Brooklyn, for example, who's probably not very happy about having the number 6 overall pick. Maybe Atlanta, wishing that they could have got a little higher. Is there any team you see on this that the Blazers could talk to?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about picks between 5 and 10, you're really not looking at anything other than guards, with the exception of maybe Nate Ament from Tennessee, 6'10" tweener.
Yaxel?
He's not going to go in that range. I think he's going to go somewhere.
Probably 10 to 15.
Yeah, 11 to 16, I think is his range. I could see OKC looking at him. I could see Golden State looking at him.
You could get number 3 from Memphis, but you have to take Ja Morant. I mean, I'll take number 3 and then cut Ja Morant and pay his salary.
I mean, they wouldn't do that unless they get the world for it. But that's the thing is, like, the lottery guys, honestly, from 5 through 14, you're really looking at guards, with the exception of Yaxel, Ademara, Nate Ament.
See, I'm not interested in Ament, dude. He's just so raw.
I'm trying to.
We talked about it all during the
maybe
tournament.
Cameron Carr from Baylor, who's more guard wing, but then you're also looking at like Jaden Quaintance, but he's also had some injuries. Center, rim running center. Blazers don't need any more of those. Senak from Houston is maybe in that mix at the back end of the lottery, maybe, but it's a crap ton of guards. It is a crap ton of guards. The wings, I mean, the wing is obviously AJ DeBonsa. After that, you're most looking at like power forward center types and guards. There's not a ton of wings in this. And where the Blazers are really looking for 2 things: scoring punch and a 4 who's kind of a do-it-all kind of guy, right? Like, that's really what they're looking at.
A little more defense than what Jeremy can provide you, but almost as much scoring.
Yeah, I mean, even then, like, I think more you're looking more rebounding than anything else, like a rebounding, scoring, like
Give Donovan a little help.
Because they get beat on the offense. Like, Donovan's an incredible rebounder, and Tu and Chris are great offensive rebounders and plus defensive rebounders, but they just don't have like guard rebounding. Like, Drew's the only one that they have that gives you any real guard rebounding. Scoot can at times, but they just kind of get pummeled on the glass. And then they need to kind of get a little bit. Denny's a good rebounder for what he is. There's no doubt about that. But when you ask a guy to take on more offensive burden, other areas tend to fall to the wayside. He's still a plus rebounder on the defensive glass, but like they probably need to clean that up. Like, so I don't know if they move into that. Like, do they like Braden Burries from Arizona? Like, he's a dyed-in-the-wool shooter, but like, do they want to go like try to get moving in that range? I don't know. But I could definitely see them buying into the second round. I could see them like looking for flyers on that end, because here's the reality: if they're going to make a trade, whether it's Giannis or anyone else, if they're going to make a big move, you're going to probably be sending out like 2 or 3 for 1. Mm-hmm. So guess what you have? Roster spots. What do you want to do with those? Do you want to go and attack it in free agency, or do you want to get some more young capital behind it?
Which turned out really valuable this year.
Yes.
For funsies, I will tell you, Washington will take Darren Peterson. Utah will take AJ DeBonsa. Memphis will take Carlos Boozer. Cam Boozer, excuse me. Chicago will take Caleb Wilson, and I will have the Clippers taking Darius Acuff Jr. And the Brooklyn Nets taking the lottery pick next year.
There you go. I think the Clippers might look at Wagler.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he jumps Acuff.
I do, because...
Or does Acuff jump Caleb or Cam?
No, I don't think so. The defensive liability for Acuff is there.
And Keaton's 6'6".
That's size is going to matter.
Had a 40 burger this year, so you know he can score.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, Wagler really showed out this year. I mean, if you want to look no further, look at what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing to the Lakers. Who are they targeting? AR. they're going after Reeves.
Yep.
They're not going after old man LeBron. They're not going after Rui. They're not going after Marcus Smart.
There's no reason to go after Reeves.
Go after Reeves because he's not a good defender.
I would also argue that OKC does have the best perimeter defending guards of any team.
Oh, for sure. But I'm talking about like offensively. Who are you like? This is the Shaedon Sharpe argument. When Shaedon was on the floor in those playoff games against the Spurs, what are they doing?
It's a little easier.
Bring me Shaedon.
It's a little easier when you know you have again Chet go take LeBron, and I have Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso.
But I mean, like,
and then Shai Gilgeous just roams.
But I mean, offensively though, like who are you calling up? Who are you? If you've got a 16-game guys, who are you calling up there? When you're looking at the Blazers, am I calling up Drew Holiday? Am I calling up Tumani Kamara? Am I calling up Chris Murray? Am I calling up Matisse Thybulle? Am I calling up Rob Williams? The answer is no. Hell, you're not even looking at calling up Scoot Henderson. You're looking like Shaedon, num. Lakers, the Thunder, they're looking at AR, num. They're gonna go find a guy like with the Cavs. They're gonna go find Jim Harden. Bring me Jim. Bring him. They're not calling up Dean Wade. Dean Wade looks like a dude you see at the Y. Guess what? He'll bust your ass defensively. He plays hard. Like, they're not going to go after Max Strus is going to play hard. Hell, Donovan Mitchell's going to play hard.
Strus is a bucket.
He is, but like when you're talking about the difference between 82-game players and 16-game players, like what you target, especially when you're talking about drafting guys, if you're drafting somebody in the top 6, top 7, unless their offense is so overwhelming, I think you're going to start seeing teams get away from guards that are 6'4" and under.
Start getting the Derek Whites.
I mean, Darren Peterson's 6'6". Like, he's rangy. He's built like SGA right now. He's also an absolute monster offensively. Like, there's a sliding scale between those guys. So it's going to be fun.
Let's put a pause on this. When we come back, I want to ask you about next year's draft and the rules changes, plus also the situation around Darren Peterson, and does this draw more red flags for you if you were looking at him at number 1 overall? That's Danny on Patrick, 105.1 The Fan.
The new
We'll get to the potential number one overall pick here in a second, but I wanted to finish up a little draft lottery conversation with you, Danny. It is really funny, as somebody just pointed it out on the YouTube chat. I can't remember, so I apologize for not giving credit where credit is due. It is funny, though, that the lottery actually worked out the way it was supposed to the last time that it's going to happen this way. I'm with you. This is an unusual season in which so many teams were tanking, but that's just the level of talent in this draft, so I get it. But it is wild to think that in this incarnation of the draft lottery structure, the worst team got the number one pick once.
It's a nice place to be.
Yeah. So then we move forward to next year, and I think one of the biggest questions is that everybody, at least locally, has for the structure next year is it evens out a lot of the picks or a lot of the percentage and ping pong balls for the similar teams.
It's a smoothing.
It's a smoothing. That's a great way to put it. How does this affect the Blazers if they are to hold on to those Milwaukee picks, or the value of trading those Milwaukee picks?
So I have done a unofficial survey of general managers, and this was started when all this stuff kind of came to fruition behind the scenes of like which paths they may go down around Hoop Summit, and then I've texted back and forth with some guys since then. Just so happens I happen to know a general manager that just got a job in Dallas, so his thoughts on this are interesting now too.
Look, I have not accepted the job yet. I am thinking about it. I don't know if I can move the family to Dallas. Fort Worth, maybe.
There you go. But the prevailing wisdom is, or thought process, I should say, from those that I've talked 10, 12 general managers around the league over the last month or so, is that those picks are still incredibly valuable. And this isn't like Blazers, rose-colored glasses. It's more of you don't have to bottom out to have them be valuable now. Let's say the Bucks suck. Well, how much do they suck?
Right, you don't have to be Wizards bad.
You don't have so in theory that pick could potentially be more valuable because there's the likelihood of it landing in the top 4 is technically higher across the board. Does that make sense?
Look
the
at
math
you being half full.
Well, the math says that those picks, because you don't have to bottom out to get the best odds, now your likelihood of being able to hit better odds are actually better across the spectrum.
If you're the Pacers going into this lottery, you wish it was the new rules.
Yes, because the likelihood of you ending up there is better. So with that, and this is the one part of it where the incentivized winning actually matters. The bottom 3 sucks to suck now because your odds are worse. Mm-hmm. It's the 3-2-1 scenario, like of the idea of like, if you're the bottom 3, nah, dog, you in fact don't have the best odds. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to incentivize you to not suck down the stretch.
Be the 4th worst team, yeah.
You know why that matters? The final 45 days of the season, you know what the NBA wants? Teams competing every freaking night.
The last 21 days, the last 3 weeks of the NBA season, we were lucky the Blazers were in a playoff fight, in a play-in fight. Mm-hmm. We got lucky that us and local media had that, because if you're a hoop head in Wichita, Kansas, and your closest team to Wichita, Kansas is
Memphis
Grizzlies, Chicago Bulls, maybe the Dallas Mavericks, maybe the Phoenix Suns. Like, you are struggling to watch the league because it was not
night in, night out.
There was not competitive basketball. Again, we got lucky. They're the 4 teams in the West, but even Warriors fans are like, oh God, we're stuck in this. We're going to get 10th no matter what. That needs to change. You can't. I get the NFL in week 19, week 18, however many games that are being played, week 17. I get it. The last week of the season, guys rest. People aren't really interested, but they always give us a Sunday night game that matters.
And here's the thing.
And your fantasy leagues are over, so nobody cares about that anymore.
What you want is the Utah Jazz at the end of the season. You want them trying to steal a game from the Lakers. You want them trying to steal a game from the Nuggets. You want them trying to steal a game from the Thunder.
Or if it's Utah, Sacramento, you want to see both those teams ball out.
Yeah, you want to see them play hard because they're sitting there. It's almost like a quasi-relegation adjacent situation of like, if you're in that bottom 3, it's going to hurt you. So you want to see that. So, again, coming back to the Blazers side of this, I shouldn't say my understanding. What has been told to me is that the general value of those picks is actually potentially higher. And it's no longer going to be about trying to grab teams' draft capital that have the potential to bottom out, and it's going to be more about volume of picks, which is terrifying because what do the Thunder have?
Volume.
The likelihood of a team even being there now increases their luck probability.
Keep it going. Maybe a dynasty unlike we've ever seen.
So
they continue to reload.
They may luck out in the SGA trade. They may luck out in the lottery when, picking Chet when they did, picking 2 in that lot. Like, look, if you're picking 2 in last year's lottery, you got Dylan Harper. If you're picking 2 in the year before that, you're getting Alex Sarr. And again, I like Alex Sarr.
Sarr's a good player.
I like Sarr.
He ain't Chet.
Yeah.
He ain't Dylan Harper.
Or if you're picking 1, it's Zachary Rieseshay. If you're the Hawks, would you rather have Cooper Flagg or AJ DeBonsa or Zach Rieseshay?
I think that answer is pretty clear.
So, it's pretty understandable which way that's going to go. So, when you're looking at the Blazers, you're looking at their assets, you're looking at Orlando now, that 2028 pick, you're like, that could have some value to it. Which way are they going to go? Because they don't have to, the Magic don't have to be blown up. They just have to not be in the playoffs.
Concerns around the potential number 1 overall pick have been answered by said number 1 overall pick. We'll get to that next, but we'll toss it over to Casey with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the phone, some NBA playoff updates for you as the Timberwolves tied the series back up at 2-2 as they took down the Spurs 114-109 last night. Victor Wembanyama received his first career ejection after throwing an elbow at the jaw of Naz Reid early in the second quarter, but it was Ant Edwards paying homage to his late mother and grandmother on Mother's Day as he finished with 36 points in the Timberwolves' victory. The New York Knicks wrapped up their sweep of the 76ers last night as they took Game 4 144-114 as 6 Knicks finished the game in double figures. We have 2 Game 4 matchups slated for tonight as the Cavaliers host the Detroit Pistons in Cleveland at 5 p.m. And over in the Western Conference, LeBron and the Lakers hope to avoid elimination as they face off against OKC for Game 4. Your Portland Timbers dominated Sporting Kansas City as they posted the largest margin of victory in club's history, beating KC 6-0 on Saturday. Saturday also marked the first time Portland has scored 6 goals in a match since May of 22, with goals coming from Kevin Kelsey, Christopher Velda, Cole Bassett, and Ari Lassiter. And finally, some NFL news for you as the Pittsburgh Steelers have agreed to terms with kicker Chris Boswell on a 4-year, $28 million extension, tying him with Brandon Aubrey as the NFL's highest-paid kicker and tying him with the franchise through 2030. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Laura Case from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitter.
We'll get to Web Gems here in a couple minutes, but I want to finish up some lottery draft adjacent stuff as we finally have an answer for Darren Peterson. And Darren Peterson, who suffered from a lot of cramps last year at Kansas on their way to a very lackluster season and finish it for them. He claims that, he got to a training room, started begging them to call 911, trying to get a vein to get him an IV, get him back hydrated, but he was cramping so hard that he couldn't get a vein. He blames it on taking a supplement that he had never taken before, and that is creatine. Now, I am no bodybuilder, although I may look like one. It's all natural over here.
I have no idea who is representing Darren Peterson, who is doing his PR, but he has now put out things through his camp that, number one, he has anxiety and mental health issues and not able to deal with certain things, which if you do, don't make that public before an NBA draft, brother. What are you doing?
Just wait a month.
What are you doing?
Wait a few.
Like, that is an insane thing to do. Number two, there is no science that backs any part of creatine being leading to dehydration or cramping. It is quite the opposite. It literally causes you to retain more water.
I don't know. I didn't look it up because you were so emphatic about it, so I'm just going to trust you on that. It's so funny. Darren Peterson is such a fascinating specimen in the sense that when he played for Kansas, they could be the best team in the nation. They could beat anybody.
Oh, with him on the floor, he's insane.
They could beat anyone.
This is from the National Institute of Health. Scientific studies consistently show that creatine supplementation does not cause muscle cramping and may actually help reduce the risk of cramping, dehydration, and muscle injuries. Despite popular myths, research on athletes and clinical patients indicate that creatine improves hydration and aids thermoregulation during intense exercise rather than causing issues.
It's so funny. When I was in high school, I knew some guys that took creatine. I knew
this
many
was
people.
the thought process originally.
That's what I was always
banned because there weren't studies done on it.
And everything that I said was like, anybody can take creatine. You don't have to be a lifter. Anybody can take creatine. You just have to make sure you up your water consumption. So I have lived my entire life under the impression. When I saw this article, before I brought it up to you, because we had it came out last week, but we pushed it aside because of a bunch of stuff going on. When it first came out, I was like, oh, dude, that makes sense. And you were like, no, it doesn't. My entire life, I've been under the assumption that creatine made you dehydrated and you needed to consume more water due to it.
No, you retain more water. The number of studies being done now on two teens, creatine and nicotine, the beneficial effects of both of them, creatine for brain health and neuroplasticity.
Wait, are you about to tell me that I can smoke cigarettes again?
No. Nicotine.
I got nicotine in it. Good enough.
Nicotine and brain health. There are a number of studies that are being done, both creatine and nicotine, on neuroplasticity, which is your ability to rewire your brain, like continue to have growth. Like you can grow over nerve pathways, like changing behaviors and the abilities to evolve and like positively improve yourself. Both those things, nicotine and creatine have bonus effects through everything. Like I started taking creatine again 4 months ago. This is May now, so 5 months ago. Beginning of the year, I started taking it, and in the first week, I started like having. My weight was up like 4 or 5 pounds because I was retaining more water. And then once you get through like the initial week, 2, sometimes it's a little bit longer for some people. You don't get the over retention of water, but you still do retain water better. Like. So I don't get, like, maybe they're hoping that people just look at that as an excuse. Like, oh, yes, it's creatine. It's like some PR guy. Yeah.
Hook, line, singer right here. Like, I do this for a living. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. See you later.
It's like
nothing to see here.
Some 45-year-old PR guy that remembers the late 90s when creatine was booming in Mark McGuire's locker room.
This guy right here.
And didn't do like any actual research on it.
Again, the myth about creatine is that it causes bloating or puffiness, but the fact about it is the retention is mostly intracellular, not extracellular, meaning it's internal into your muscles, not into your skin, meaning it makes the muscles appear more fuller rather than bloated.
I mean, I am squishy because I drink plenty of water. It's all water weight on me. Otherwise, I'm like 2% body fat.
There you go. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I weigh myself at 2 different times a day. I weigh myself in the morning, then I weigh myself before I go to bed. Like
I heard you're supposed to weigh yourself in the morning after you do your biz and take a shower. That's
Yes.
like your true weight.
That's like your empty body weight.
Because you're naturally, not in a bad way, you're naturally dehydrated from sleeping, and then you get your business done, and then you clean off any dirt because dirt weighs 30 pounds, and then you weigh yourself, and that's your true body weight.
And I can fluctuate up to 12 pounds in a day between food and water.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Like,
Is that unhealthy? It sounds unhealthy.
I mean, just depends. Like it depends on like what kind of. Am I hitting the gym hard? Like am I sweating hard? How much food am I eating in a given day? Like my weight right now, and it goes anywhere between 234 at the lowest to 246 at the highest. Like that's my weight range right now. So if you want to say that my average is right around 240, it's fine. You want to say I swing 6 pounds either way, that's fine.
The text line is telling me too much creatine can 100% cause cramping. Just enter what are the side effects of taking too much creatine on any AI, and it will tell you that. This other person always being told, I was always told you need to drink more water with creatine by fitness trainers.
Again, that comes,
I don't take these supplements. I have no idea.
How much creatine are you taking? Because you can take 10 grams of creatine totally fine and not have any issues whatsoever.
But maybe that's what Darren Peterson is saying, is that he literally took...
Is he taking 20 grams of creatine?
Well, maybe.
Then either his trainer or the trainers at Kansas are dumb. Like, there's no way you can slice this where somebody isn't dumb. Do you know what I'm saying?
Boy, I would hope the trainers at KU are not dumb.
I
would think KU would have some of the best trainers in all of college basketball.
I would think so, too.
I would argue that KU might have better trainers than some NBA teams.
I don't know about that, but...
There's a lot of money at KU.
For sure.
Is there more money at KU or the Wizards?
What I'm wondering here is, was he taking maybe something else? That's where I go with this.
The funny thing...
Because those things can dehydrate you.
The funny thing is this will not affect his draft stock. I don't think so.
He's going 1 or 2.
Yep, I think so.
That's where he's going. Unless the intel on him is really bad.
You think Ainge would pass on him if the Wizards took Bonza?
Probably not. But the intel would have to be pretty damning.
I think they'd trade back.
That's what they would do. But if you're trading with Danny Ainge, go with Austin Ainge, go with God.
I believe Danny is going to be a part of those conversations. Yeah. If they trade back from 2, he's going to be a part of those conversations.
But yeah,
it's like DePoto is not the GM of the Seattle Mariners. He is the president of baseball operations. If you were about to go trade for Aaron Judge, Jerry DePoto is in that conversation.
So
that's pretty much how that
goes. It's an interesting spot that all this stuff lands in. Darren Peterson and the people around him, I'm no longer raising eyebrows. I'm just going, what are you doing?
My last thing I will say about Darren Peterson that has me frustrated is his dreads, his braids are looking pretty good. They looked pretty good last night at the lottery, except for a lot of the season this year, he had the Steph Castle, Drew Holiday thing going on, which I'm never going to tell you to stop doing.
No, it's great.
And he has stopped doing that, and that makes me sad.
Well, he's probably letting him down and let him chill for a little bit.
Okay. I like the pineapple. Steph Castle, I like that look.
You tighten it back up. Like a lot of those guys don't do it off the floor.
Okay.
At worst, they'll maybe put a headband on it and kind of do it that way.
Okay.
So
I like the pineapple top.
Or you go,
which is funny because I hate pineapples.
Go Rob with the beanie over the top.
Oh, the beanie it's
a good look.
Rob's got the best hair in basketball.
It's phenomenal.
When we come back, it's Web Gems. You can't get a rebound, and now nobody will talk to you. That's a rough look, amigo. Next, 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
All right, this is everybody's favorite. It's Web Gems. We do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the big nooner, we'll get back into some Victor Wembanyama conversation as his punishment for being tossed out of Game 4 is up. An update on Giannis Antetokounmpo when it comes to your Portland Trailblazers. And a little nugget out of the NFL from the team up north that is for sale, plus closing arguments. Web Gems today, we're a pretty heavy NBA show today, so I kind of wanted to stick there and keep the theme going, is brought to you by one center for the Los Angeles Lakers, and I don't mean the Staples Center. I mean DeAndre Ayton. If you didn't catch the game on Saturday, DeAndre Ayton was pretty miserable in that game, 131-108. The Thunder beat the Lakers, as we kind of mentioned earlier today, Danny, about this series. The Thunder aren't even playing that well.
No, they're not.
They have not peaked. We've seen San Antonio almost peak. We've seen the Knicks peak.
Yes.
We have not seen OKC do that yet, and they're handling the Lakers fairly easily. And we both agree that if they had Luka Doncic, things would be a lot better for the Lakers, but the reality is they don't. But all eyes were kind of turned on this Game 3 as OKC's up 3-0. They look to close it out tonight, and we can chat a little bit about the series if you want. But the biggest thing that stood out to me from Game 3 is DeAndre Ayton, in the sense that he was struggling to get rebounds, couldn't get them. It got to the point where the camera caught J.J. Redick sitting down in his chair on the bench, kind of leaned back, threw his head back, looked at one of his assistants and said, I can't play him. And that is a very harsh reality for DeAndre Ayton, former Trailblazer legend, put his jersey in the rafters, that he has been played out of this series by Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren.
It was the same thing that happened to Enes Kanter at one point in time. Mm-hmm. Can't play Kanter. Like, that was the thing in OKC. It was like, can't play Kanter.
But can't play Kanter was a little older in his career.
Well, I mean, not really.
I guess yeah, DA's been around for a while.
But not even that. It's just like, Kanter wasn't that old then. It's like, it's just, when guys don't have it in a matchup or they're not bringing it, like for Kanter, he just couldn't move his feet defensively. That's all that was. With DA, it's like, DA is one of the most gifted bigs I've ever seen talent-wise. This is where talent doesn't, you know, when I get the, God, I'm going to do it. Like the Shaden Sharp thing. Like when people talk about like, he's so talented. I don't care how talented you are if it doesn't lead to something. Like I talked myself into DA coming out in that draft. Like I could understand why you took DeAndre Ayton number 1 overall.
Those were the same concerns about Anthony Edwards.
Yes.
Does he love basketball? How focused is he?
And where's the basketball IQ? Where's the feel? Like all those kind of things. Like athletically, gifts-wise, DA is one of the most gifted bigs I've ever seen in my entire life. He is 7 foot tall, 270 pounds of pure unadulterated muscle who moves like a freaking deer. Dudes that big are not supposed to be able to move like that. His touch is otherworldly. How many guys do you see in the NBA right now who have right hand, left hand touch like he does from 4 to 10 feet? Can absolutely rip the net on 12-foot mid-range pull-ups. Athletic freaks that can run the rim and run the floor like he does. Can just gobble up rebounds endlessly if he wants to. That's the problem. If he wants to. Hassan Whiteside is one of the most physically gifted bigs of the past 30 years. That dude could eat all day at the rim. Could rebound all day at the rim. Physically, shot-blocking monster. Built like a truck. Physically, who was going to ever overpower him? Basketball IQ, non-existent. Coaches basically told him, just grab every rebound and try to block every shot. Because they got tired of trying to coach him in a scheme that not because he was lazy, but because he just wasn't smart enough to comprehend it.
And now he can't do that.
For DA, it's like there's just a switch in him. And that switch is turned off more often than not. That's the frustration because you know what guys get tired of? It's not guys who aren't talented enough. It's guys who are talented, and it doesn't show. Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was a number 1 overall pick. He was supposed to be. Timothée Chalamet.
There is a lot of talent on Andrew Wiggins, and you saw it on the Warriors
but when
he didn't have to be the guy.
Yep. When he got to kind of sit back. That's the thing, man. When I was younger, when I first started doing this, I wanted the guy with the best profile. I have gone away from that unless the profile is so overwhelming. Victor Wembanyama, it's just so overwhelming. You're like, yeah, okay. give me Cooper Flagg over pretty much anyone else because he is a supercomputer of a brain. Now, Flagg's 6'9". Don't get me wrong. He's got good measurables.
Well, he plays like he's 7 foot.
But, I mean, even beyond that, he's not the best athlete you've ever seen in your life. He moves well. He moves really well for a guy his size. But he's not a 45-inch vertical guy who has the best burst and acceleration and deceleration and ability to change directions. Like, he doesn't have all that stuff. Luka Doncic is strong as a mule, one of the strongest guys in the league, has maybe the best deceleration of any ball handler in the league. But he can't jump over a roll of toilet paper. Like, he hasn't dunked in 2 years. And I'm being facetious there, but what he does have is a basketball brain that is always tick, 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 firing at all times. DA's, man, it ain't ticking. And that's the problem.
Boy, the Lakers are going to be in an interesting situation in comparison to the Sixers. They got a lot of choices to make. I assume LeBron James won't be back next year. Rui is an unrestricted free agent.
It's Reeves and Luka, and then figure out what the rest of it is.
And figure out the rest. They probably keep Luke Kennard. He's kind of your Dylan Harper. In the sense of like a scorer off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the.
Although I have more hair than Luke Kennard.
Yes, but look, the Lakers are the Lakers, and they'll find ways to be part of something still. Because I mean, between AR and Luka, it's a lot of offensive firepower, and guys are always going to want to play in Los Angeles. But here's the thing: I hate the Lakers. I hope they win tonight.
Really?
Yeah. Push the Thunder a little bit.
Dude, DA has a player option next year for 8.1.
I'm going to go ahead and go with he's probably opting into that.
I think he's going to take that because they would like him to go away.
Well, no, I mean, he opts in and stays.
That's what I mean. The Lakers want him to go away.
Well, no, but if he has a player option, he opts in and takes the money.
That's what I'm saying. The Lakers would prefer him not to opt in.
Oh, yeah.
And walk.
I thought you were saying he didn't want to
opt
opt in.
No. The Lakers do not want him to opt in.
But I think he does opt in because the
course.
perception around him is what it is.
Well, Casey and I were talking about this before you came in. Like, DA is 7 foot. He's the number 1 overall draft pick. He's going to land on another team. He's going to have a longer career in the NBA.
And 7-footers are hard to come by.
Then he probably should because someone's going to say, I can fix him. I can fix him. I can fix him. No. She's a horse girl and is going to be a disaster for you.
Do you know what DA's career numbers are?
I do not.
16 and 10 shooting 60% from the field.
That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
Like, it should be a lot better than that, but that's the problem, man. Like, that's the frustration.
Again, numbers are great, but my issue with DA is probably, I think, the same issue I have with Donovan. Again, we talked about it pre-show, but I don't like when 7-footers are just 10-10. If you're not 20-10 and go and just try to dominate, be a trendsetter, be a pace setter, and just dominate guys. I'm watching Isaiah Hartenstein put in a lot more effort than DeAndre Ayton. That difference is making Chet Holmgren just a lot better and a lot freer. Mm-hmm. I don't know what DeAndre Ayton allows.
All defense.
You put Isaiah Hartenstein's IQ and motor in DeAndre Ayton. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I will stand on that 10 toes.
It's like it's Dwight Howard with more offensive game.
I mean, he's just a physical monster.
When we come back in the Big Nooner, let's get back into Victor Wembanyama as the NBA has decided their punishment for him being ejected in Game 4 and what Wemby looks like going forward. Plus, we'll give you an update on Giannis Antetokounmpo and his potential future in Portland. Final hour next. Don't go anywhere. 105.1 The Fan.
From the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fans, some NBA playoff updates for you as the Timberwolves tied the series back up at 2-2 as they took down the Spurs 114-109 last night. Victor Wembanyama received his first career ejection after throwing an elbow at the jaw of Naz Reid early in the second quarter. But it was Ant Edwards paying homage to his late mother and grandmother on Mother's Day as he finished with 36 points in the Timberwolves' victory. The New York Knicks wrapped up the sweep of the 76ers last night as they took Game 4 144-114 as 6 Knicks finished the game in double figures. We have 2 Game 4 matchups slated for tonight as the Cavaliers host the Pistons in Cleveland at 5 p.m. And over in the Western Conference, LeBron and the Lakers hope to avoid elimination as they face off against OKC for Game 4. Your Portland Timbers dominated Sporting Kansas City as they posted the largest margin of victory in club's history, beating Kansas City 6-0 last Saturday. Saturday also marked the first time Portland has scored 6 goals in a match since May of 2022, with goals coming from Kevin Kelsey, Christopher Velda, Cole Bassett, and Ari Lassiter. And finally, some NFL news for you as the Pittsburgh Steelers have agreed to terms with kicker Chris Boswell on a 4-year, $28 million extension, tying him with Brandon Aubrey as the NFL's highest-paid kicker, and tying him with the franchise through 2030. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of dirt and spray.
Two down, one to go here. The firm of Harris and Marang. We do this bad boy every single Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you for being a part of our day. We are stoked to be a part of yours. After us, as always, we'll toss it over to Duck Insider from 1 to 2, and then it's the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3, and then it's prime time from 3 to 7 with Isaac and Suk. Started with Dirt and Sprague this morning at 6 a.m., and it ends at 7 p.m. That's 13 hours of live, local, continuous regional sports talk radio. I'm very excited that it is PGA Championship week here on The Fan, brought to you by Langdon Farms Golf Course. Those are fun friends down there as well. I like golf majors a lot, and the Masters was a lot of fun this year, and I'm very excited to watch the PGA as well.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
I'm down. I have no idea who's going to win. I don't predict. I don't get in betting or fantasy or anything like that. I just turn it on and hope for a good Saturday and Sunday. And it's live sports while we're on the air on Thursday and Friday, which is always nice.
Always wonderful.
Always wonderful. Right now I'm watching Tottenham Leeds, and we're full on Leeds, baby.
Just loving that suckfest, huh?
Well, dude, Tottenham being relegated would be like, I'm not going to lie to you, would be like the Oregon Ducks being relegated.
Yeah.
Because Tottenham is a very successful franchise.
That hasn't done it.
That hasn't quite done it yet. That is not meant to be a shot at the Oregon Ducks, but it's just in comparison.
I meant it that way.
White Hart Lane, I knew you would. Where Tottenham plays, Tottenham is the second most valuable franchise in the English Premier League.
And they're going to lose $1 billion if they get relegated.
Yes, they will.
That's not an overestimation.
No.
They're going to lose $1 billion because the ad revenue that they get for being a top London club in the EPL is worth that much money to them.
The only thing that will keep the Levies afloat is that the NFL plays games there in London. That's why they're so valuable. They own their stadium, and that's where
it's a really
NFL.
Big stadium.
It's really beautiful. They spent a ton of money on that
grass
place.
Is flawless.
Yeah, they spent a ton of money on that place. What do we got this hour? Let's see. The team up north that's for sale is drawing low interest. We'll get to that this hour, and we'll give you an update on Giannis Antetokounmpo to Portland here in a moment. But I want to get back into the Victor Wembanyama situation from last night, Game 4, as the Minnesota Timberwolves tie that series up 2-2. It's a very interesting thing. We've talked at length a lot, whether it was during the Blazers series or now during the Timberwolves series. We're starting to watch San Antonio grow up before us, grow up before our eyes. Now, I think what's really interesting about San Antonio, and something I've enjoyed because it kind of humanizes them a little bit, it's not been all positives. When OKC grew up last year in the playoffs, it went, oh no, this could be a dynasty. Not just like, oh, this team's got it in them. Like when Boston won with Tatum, it's like, I think this is their year.
They finally got
it.
Air quotes, finally.
OKC last year, as they grew up, was like, uh-oh, this is a sleeping giant.
But it was also, they went through it the year before when Luka buzzsawed them.
Correct. This year with San Antonio, we expect the same, but we've seen some cracks, some moments where I could argue they're not ready for. Looking at you, Steph Castle, sometimes your bad boy attitude is a benefit, and sometimes it's a little bit of a negative.
That's the game you play with guys who ride on the edge.
The experience factor of not a lot of us have experience. Okay, cool, let's play with house money. That kind of showed itself when Wemby goes out last night, and then Wemby specifically. Taking that elbow to Naz Reid, look, I understand that coaches are always going to say that there's no intent, and Doris is going to bail him out as always per usual on that. There's a lot of intent in there. And maybe not to, hit him in his throat.
There was a clearing out. He was frustrated, very clearly. I don't think he was trying to knock. What's Wemby's track record? That's what I always go to.
Zero.
That's what I always go to. Was he probably irritated by Reed and McDaniels grabbing the crap out of him? Yeah,
this
he
isn't
was.
the Ron Artest, James Harden elbow.
No, this was not.
This isn't Draymond kicking you in the junk.
No,
anything Zaza's got going on.
Right. But was he pissed off? Yeah, he was. He lost his cool for a second. Mm-hmm. And Naz Reid is lucky he still got all his teeth.
That is true, especially where it hit him. He's lucky his throat didn't close up with how hard that's going.
And the other thing is Wemby is 7'6", so when the elbow goes, where's it going to land? It's going to land upstairs.
Well, when he sat down and didn't realize that a flagrant 2 means you get tossed, he reached up to ask Harrison Barnes to tell him. He was sitting down and grabbed Harrison Barnes' neck to bring him in to talk to him.
Who, reminder, is 6'8".
Is 6'8". That's how big Wemby is.
It was crazy. It was like watching his arm go out. You're like, oh my goodness.
Now, there should be no surprise that the NBA is not going to suspend him for this game. I think that would be a little excessive. However, this starts the track record.
Sure.
It might be a one-off. We might never see it again. But if he does this again, and I'm not saying this year, but if he does it again next year or the year after that, that track record starts to collect.
Here's the thing. Every single great player has at least one of these.
Of course.
Every single great player has one of these. You're going to get got. You're going to get got. You're going to get pissed off one night. Kobe's got a couple of them. Mm-hmm. Shaq's got a highlight reel of dudes catching a mouthful of elbow.
I mean, Rasheed Wallace, Ron Artest, Draymond
Garnett.
Green, Kevin Garnett, they made careers off of it.
Charles Barkley used to truck. Charles Barkley threw a guy through a plate glass window.
Bill Laimbeer.
Maybe the only no David Robinson has one too. I'm like
they all do.
You play that much basketball, it's gonna get you.
Maybe it's Steph Curry. I can't think of one. But boy, there's a lot of people that want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
The mouth guard, the night.
I think he's had a couple trips.
Okay.
I think he's had a couple trips. That's the thing. Is it depends on look, CJ McCollum's got a highlight reel of them. Every player is gonna get if you're a guy who plays in the league for 10 years and you're playing 30 minutes a night, you're gonna get one. It's just gonna happen. And I'm not excusing it. He got loose. He lost his composure.
I think the most important thing for Wemby going forward in this situation is to realize they know they can get in your head. And how do you respond? If Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid are just up in your biz all day, every day, does this happen again? Maybe not a full elbow, maybe not a full flagrant 2, but does it happen to a point where you lose your cool again and maybe shove somebody?
What has Wemby done so far in his career? Has he learned from literally everything he's ever done wrong or right?
Dude, in game 1, he said, I used my energy in different places. In game 2, came out and was an absolute monster.
That's what I mean about guys like him and Flag. They are supercomputers. They make their mistakes and they learn. That is what separates stars in the league.
Stars from superstars, from Hall of Famers.
Yes.
And not Hall of Famers, but like top 20 all time.
Yes. Like it is the ability to process and learn and grow. There are a lot of hyper talented dudes in this league. But the guy, like Damian Lillard will tell you endlessly, he needed the Pelican series to understand how he needed to play. That was the eureka moment of like, I need to understand how to deal with this blitz, how to deal with this trap, how to figure that part of this out. This is what we always talk about, where teams need to take their lumps, where they need to figure these things out. The Thunder had to get humiliated by Luka in order to figure out what they needed to do. That's just the reality of this.
It's what we're waiting for with the Timberwolves. You got smacked around by, what was it, Phoenix?
Yeah, no,
it was Dallas. It was Luka.
Dallas, and the year before that, was it Dallas again?
No, it was Dallas, and then it was SGA.
Oh, yeah, it's actually, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you've been kicked in the teeth by the eventual, Western Conference champ and an NBA Finals champion in OKC. How do you respond?
And my God, you were the third worst team in the league.
And they've kind of gone backwards a little bit.
Well, with their roster,
Yes.
Losing Nah, that certainly hurts, but Ant has leveled up. Jaden McDaniels has leveled up. Rudy, for whatever reason, seemed to think that he's cooked. He's still one of the 3 best defenders in the league. It's like, they have an opportunity. Like, Wemby's mistake caused the Spurs to have the series tied.
And I think that's another thing that the rest of the Spurs team needs to kind of learn themselves is this is the second time Wemby has exited a game unexpectedly. Different reasons, but still exited around the same time.
Yeah.
Okay? They didn't know what to do. I understand, like McDaniels had a really nice post-game interview talking about Anthony Edwards. He knows he's getting the rock. We know he's getting the rock. We let him do his thing. There's one thing to have expectations from players that are playing, what you expect Wemby to do on the court. But San Antonio's got to learn how to react when he gets off the court. In situations that are freak accidents, quote unquote, being ejected or smacking your face on the floor, because that's 2 times now that I've seen the Spurs team not react the way they should have, the way they could have.
I push back on that a little bit just because you don't necessarily prepare for losing your best player. If you take SGA off the Thunder at the same point in time, or Ant Edwards off the Timberwolves at the same point in time, let's say that Wemby gets ejected, Ant Edwards tweaks a hammy at the exact same time. Spurs are going to dump truck that team. If you take the best players off the floor, the Spurs are a way better team.
I understand.
I know what you're saying as far as like being able to react. Here's my pushback to it. Not that I believe that you're wrong, but I think Dylan Harper did react. He was phenomenal. De'Aaron Fox was just buns. If De'Aaron Fox is just average, the Spurs probably win this game by 8-9 points.
If Steph Castle has more of an impactful role as well later on in the game.
Sure. Yeah, and that's where I think this kind of goes into.
It's just been twice. That's why I'm kind of like, and maybe I should more question it than be worried about it.
I think that's a more fair characterization. And again, I've seen some people say, "Well, you got to worry about Wemby's injuries," and I'm like, "Why?" Like, well, he missed a bunch of time his rookie year. I'm like, it's a blood clot. It's not an injury. And the other one was separated ribs. It's like that's not rolled ankle, bad feet, bad knees. Like
that's not something you have to worry about for the longevity of his career. That's bumps and bruises that go with the sport.
Yeah, you're just going to miss, like, if he was, like, showing signs of foot injuries or ankle injuries or knee injuries or hip injuries or back
anything
injuries.
to deal with that calf.
Yeah, like, then I'd be like, ooh, yeah, you got to worry about injuries. Like, the things that have caused him to miss time have been very fluky. Like,
hit his face on a court, got a flagrant 2 for elbowing a dude in the
neck.
Had
a blood clot. Like,
very much in the same vein as Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, like,
it's like, what?
Dude had a collapsed lung. You're like, wait.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, like, I'm not worried about that. So as he matures, and like this, like getting ejected from a game is not a part of the growth process, but like how you deal with things. Like, dude, you're the guy. You can't do that. Like,
if Edwards does it, we kill him for it.
Oh, he's getting murdered.
Yep.
You know who else who hasn't done it? And I can't believe I didn't think about this. Braun.
I mean, LeBron spent his entire career being clean.
Like
poster child.
I was kind of running through my head while we were talking, like guys who like Braun's come close.
I mean, you're talking about maybe the most famous basketball player of all time. Of course, he's clean.
But even like that I think that makes it more impressive. Braun has never like outright lost it.
Well, I think this is a conversation for a larger day, but I'll just say real quick, I think we'll all agree. I mean, in 20 years, when we look back at LeBron, we sometimes forget how much he has dealt with.
Since he was 15.
Since he was 15 years old. And whether you agree or disagree,
25 years of limelight and not a mistake to be made.
It's a lot. When the only thing I can think of is that you're probably on steroids and that you
your personality isn't as clean or as...
And you're an advocate for everything.
It's not as ideal as everyone wants it to be.
And you're an advocate for everything except for Taiwan. Like, those are the negatives I can think about. That's it. Because you're probably on HGH and you're not cool with Taiwan. That's it. That's it. That's the list.
He just likes checks.
He just likes checks. When we come back, Uncle Sam gives us an update on Giannis Antetokounmpo to Portland. Not so fast, my friend. 105.1 The Fan. We'll slide over into the NFL, but keep it a little bit local here in a moment, and then closing arguments to send you on your way. But you can join us June 23rd as Toyota presents the Fan Golf Classic at Langdon Farms Golf Club. Foursomes are on sale now, but a little birdie just told me the afternoon's full, my friend. So
He's gone.
So get into the morning. There's still a few spots left, so hustle up before that one fills up as well. It's the most fun day in golf with activations and tastings around the course. Of course, there's the infamous Angels Envy Bourbon par 3 6-hole where all of our hosts, you get the morning guys, Dirt and Spray. You get the happy hour with Luke Anderson, Isaac, and Sue Canick will be there along with Danny and myself. Post it up to heckle and admire your shots. Keep you fed with a post-round meal thanks to Matt's Barbecue. 1051thefan.com. Click on the Fan Golf Classic logo for information and to sign up today. The Fan Golf Classic presented by Toyota is also brought to you by Vulcan Design and Construction, Henderson Daughter Windows and Doors, George McCoy of Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Battery Exchange, Maestro Dobel Tequila, Your Neighborhood Restaurant Group, Philbrook Law, 1-800-DIVORCE, Roto-Rooter, Il Legal Mezcal, and Window Nation. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Sham Charania reporting that business is open, the phone lines are free, and you can start making your attempt at Giannis. Sounds like Milwaukee is hoping to come to a solution of this situation by the NBA draft.
Everybody wants this to be done by the NBA draft, not just the Milwaukee Bucks, because if Cleveland goes out in this series, guess what? Donovan Mitchell's probably going to be on the block. Boston already went out early. One of Tatum or Brown is probably going to be on the block to help facilitate some sort of Giannis trade if he goes to Boston. The pecking order and the things that are going to need to happen around the league start and end with Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Is VJ Edgecombe available? Is Kawhi Leonard available? Is, like you said, Jaylen Brown? Does Trey Murphy III come into play on this kind of stuff?
This is it's going to be busy.
Is Jamal Murray available in Denver? Is Anthony Davis available in Washington?
Where is LeBron ending up?
He'll go wherever he wants. But our guy, Uncle Sam, I've decided to call him. Is that fair?
Sure you go.
Sam Amick, am I saying that right?
Yeah,
Amick,
yeah.
right? He had this tweet, Full Court Pass put this out, but it is, according to Sam Amick, it is widely believed that Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to be traded to a, quote, true title contender and wants to remain in the Eastern Conference.
Well, where's the path easier?
It is. He goes on to say, quote, yet there is significant skepticism among rival executives that Antetokounmpo would welcome this option as he is believed to be interested in joining a true title contender. The Trailblazers, even with him, would likely struggle to reach that tier, as these playoffs have shown so far. Joining a top tier team in the East would be the wiser way to reach that goal. The sentiment comes up frequently in league-wide discussions about what Antetokounmpo might want, as it's widely believed he'd prefer to play for an Eastern Conference team. I agree with you. The East is wide open. Real quick, I don't want to tangent too hard, but when Seattle and Vegas gets teams, who do you think moves to the East? Memphis, duh.
Memphis,
New Orleans,
or Minnesota.
Why is New Orleans
Nice
in
save.
the West?
Wow, bro, you almost dumped yourself.
Why is New Orleans in the West?
That's a top 5 lowercase moment for me
That was
right
pretty
there.
good.
Makes no sense.
Here's the thing. Minnesota makes the most sense because of regionality, even though they're not as far east, because where are they?
Well, and you get them in
Chicago, Cleveland,
That's what
Milwaukee,
I was just about to say.
like
You get them in
everything's-
Milwaukee and Chicago and the Pacers, and you get them into that
everything's
rivalry.
right there. So, but here's the thing. All three of those teams are going to be fighting tooth and nail to get to the Eastern Conference. Because where's the path been easier for the past 30
And the Pelicans,
years?
you don't get you don't get a say in this. If we choose you, we choose you, but you don't get a say in this.
You or Memphis might get moved.
You and I differ on this, and I think Blazer fans are 50-50 depending on who you talk to. I'm okay being out of the Giannis sweepstakes. I have said in the past, I'm not that interested in Giannis on a team that desperately needs shooting. Giannis is not the help for that, to where you argue top 20 player of all time.
Give me top 5 player currently in the NBA on my team and let me figure it out.
What's the price?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
buckle up. When's the NBA draft? Late June?
June 24th?
So we are a month and a half away.
I think that's right. Yeah, we're 6 weeks. Because the combine's usually 6 weeks out. Is that what we have, Case? Maybe.
Side note: This is going to be the greatest non-sports offseason.
June 23rd and 24th.
Okay, 23rd and 24th. There you go.
This is going to be the greatest non-sports offseason in the history of sports radio.
What is that?
World Cup, Giannis being traded. It's excellent.
Yeah, it works pretty well.
Yeah.
It's going to be spicy for sure. But again, this all comes down to, look, the Blazers are going to try to push for Giannis, but they're going to need the guarantee. Like, it was like, what if he doesn't sign the extension? Well, they're not trying to trade for him then. They're not going to trade for a guy who's not going to sign. So, like, stop putting the cart before the horse. If he's willing to sign the extension, they trade for him. Like, that's where we are with this stuff. They're not going to go give up all of their capital for 1 year.
Do you think if the Knicks get to the NBA Finals, which at this point I think they will, and get dog walked, I think, by OKC or San Antonio, do you think that they feel they're a few pieces away, or do they jump into this Giannis situation?
Sure, but the Bucks have to greenlight a trade.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody keeps talking about, well, you got to do right by him. Like, John Horst is GMing for his job.
Without
if he
a
just
doubt.
gives Giannis, it's the same thing with Joe and Dame.
It's
Why do we have selective amnesia on this crap? I don't understand it.
It's not even Hurst fighting for his job currently. It's fighting to make sure he has a potential second job. Because if he botches this Giannis thing, it's not Nico level, but Nico will never work in a front office again.
No.
Never.
Never.
And I'm not saying that Hurst will botch Giannis the same way, because now that it's out in the open, it's a free open bidding war, which is why Nico is blacklisted forever now. But if he botches this, if he let's say he does what I want to happen. Shaden Sharp, Jeremy Grant, 3 first-rounders to Milwaukee, Giannis to Boston, Jaylen Brown to Portland. Okay? If for some reason Giannis and them go out and win 4 titles in a row and their draft picks become busts, he'll never work in the league again.
No, that won't be true.
No?
You can't judge it on the return years down the road. You can't.
When has Milwaukee drafted well?
Giannis, and even he was, 14th overall?
And what
It's a little
about
lucky. 11, a little higher.
Yeah.
What about the years before that?
It's been a hot minute.
Jabari Parker was their best draft pick.
And his knees exploded.
Exactly.
Unfortunately. I was always Team Parker over Wiggins. But his knees exploded.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It's been a hot minute. Yeah. So
Kareem wasn't even Kareem. He was Lou Alcindor.
Yeah. And he,
Like, that's how long ago. This is like Cassius Clay's talk.
yeah, I mean, before that, they had, Ray Allen, Michael Redd.
Oh, that's true. Ray Allen, Michael Redd.
They've had good players.
Michael Redd was a good player.
Oh, Redd was a
Big dog.
bucket.
Was
big
OJ
dog.
Mayo drafted by Milwaukee?
Minnesota, Memphis. They swapped the love for Mayo. So
Glenn Rice, big dog.
yeah, big dog, the OG big dog.
The OG.
But you have to judge on the return and the immediacy. Like the Dame trade. Let's go back. Let's last time something like this happened. Okay, everybody killed Joe. He didn't get enough. I'm like, what are you talking about? Remember, Rob Williams he's busted. He's broken. Malcolm Brogdon. Blah, 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 blah. It's like they took immediately. Flipped Drew for more assets, got Brogdon, got Rob, got more picks, got Tumani, got off Nurk's deal. You go back, read my tweets, read everything I said. This was a good return because you had to look at the forecast of what it was going to be. And then it turned into something even better because they really turned those assets into Denny Avdia.
I was just about to say, Damian Lillard was traded, and the return investment, the ROI on Damian Lillard is Rob Will, Drew Holiday, Damian Lillard, Denny Avdia,
Tumani
Kamara,
and 3 first-round draft
and you're
picks.
a part of this Giannis deal. And anyone that wants Giannis is gonna have to give up something. We're not trading Giannis to Golden State for Jimmy Butler.
No.
Okay, that's not happening. Giannis is not going to Miami for Tyler Hero. Okay, Giannis is going somewhere, and it's gonna cost. And if Boston wants to pay Jaylen Brown, come on down.
And that's the thing is like
Boston wants to pay Jason Tatum, come on down.
And here's the thing about it. If whatever team they ultimately deal Giannis to doesn't have assets that make sense to Portland, go with God, Milwaukee. Because you're either going to be bad enough that your picks are going to be incredibly valuable to Portland, or you're going to be mediocre. Because what other assets are you going to have to go build around Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown? Or if it's Golden State, it's Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, and pods plus their draft capital for Giannis and Bobby Portis. Okay, cool. You have the Warriors picks from 2031 to 2037. What are you doing for the next 5 years? Because Jimmy and Dre, that ain't it, dog.
No.
You're gonna don't get me wrong. I love Jimmy. And Jimmy's a Marquette guy. Like,
I would
cool,
I would
like,
I would have loved to have Jimmy on this team before Dame got traded.
Sure,
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I want to go all in and get Jimmy Butler.
And you could have had it happen 2 different times. Yeah. But, like, you're going to
CJ, though. CJ, Zach Collins.
Oh, God. But you're going to restart, like, you're going to start your team back over with Jimmy on the tail end of his career, Dre on the tail end of his career, Pods and Moses Moody?
No. Waiting for the Warriors to get bad.
So you're going to spend the next 4 years being mired in it?
Again, another team who has not drafted well.
Like, it's the whole idea of, like, draft capital. Sure, you need draft capital now. You don't need draft capital in 4 years. Like, well, you could take those picks and move them down the line. When the Blazers did that, guess what the Blazers controlled? Their own assets.
And guess what? Your assets you can get. And they're right now. They're right now.
You could have your stuff and return to sucking.
Still, though, the
Does 29-year-old
Milwaukee Bucks trade for Damian Lillard and trade away Giannis. And what do they get? Nothing. They stay status quo. That's a brutal look.
And that's what I'm saying. So
that's a brutal look.
So you almost have to get, and this isn't me saying that, it's Portland, so I have to talk. It's
no.
No, dude.
Milwaukee has to do this.
Like, somehow, some way, you have to get your capital back. So you are working the phones, and you are checking in with Joe at literally every turn. If you want your stuff back, that's how this has to go. So this whole idea of like, oh, they're going to do right by Giannis. They're not going to send him to basketball Siberia, but if you think that they're not going to do everything they can to get their own assets back, you're crazy. Unless they get a under 25 star back in return that allows them to reset and be like, hey, man, it is what it is. Like, if you got...
You're talking to Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
Like if San Antonio stupidly wanted Giannis, they could give you Dylan Harper.
Yeah, okay. In that case, cool. You've got your top 2 lottery pick who looks like he's going to be an absolute dude. Mm-hmm. Then you can talk me into it. But outside of that, miss me with that stuff.
Ditto. Anybody want to buy a Super Bowl champion?
Holy catfish!
Didn't think so. There's Casey with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, a great spot for any occasion. And don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on the Fan, some NBA playoff updates for you as the Timberwolves tied the series back up at 2-2 as they took down the Spurs 114-109 last night. Victor Wembanyama received his first career ejection after throwing an elbow at the jaw of Naz Reid early in the second quarter, and it was Ant Edwards paying homage to his late mother and grandmother on Mother's Day as he finished with 36 points in the Minnesota victory. The New York Knicks wrapped up the sweep of the 76ers last night as they took Game 4 144-114. 6 Knicks finished the game in double figures. We have 2 Game 4 matchups slated for tonight as the Cavaliers host the Pistons in Cleveland at 5 p.m. And over in the Western Conference, LeBron and the Lakers hope to avoid elimination as they face off against OKC for Game 4. Your Portland Timbers dominated Sporting Kansas City as they posted the largest margin of victory in club history, beating Kansas City 6-0 over the weekend. Saturday also marked the first time Portland has scored 6 goals in a match since May of 2022, with goals coming from Kevin Kelsey, Christopher Velda, Cole Bassett, and Ari Lassiter. And finally, some NFL news for you as the Pittsburgh Steelers have agreed to terms with kicker Chris Boswell on a 4-year, $28 million extension, tying him with Brandon Aubrey as the NFL's highest-paid kicker, tying him with the franchise through 2030. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour.
Closing arguments coming up next to send you on your way. But our last little feature for the day was an article that came out last week that got kind of buried, the old Friday news dump. But the Seattle Seahawks, the reigning Super Bowl champion, are for sale, as Jody, like she had to do with the Blazers, has to do the same with the Seattle Seahawks. And there's no time like the present, if you're the Seahawks, to sell that team. Am I right?
Holy catfish!
Winning a Super Bowl, having the infrastructure, looking around at a squad that seems to be set up to compete for the next few years would be great. But, Danny, there's no interest. The interest is low right now.
Number one, there's only a certain number of people on the face of the planet who can afford the price tag.
This is true.
Number two, this isn't just a me thing. There's a lot of people, just I think general sports fans, who think that value of franchise has a single thing to do with the roster, the position they're in, draft capital, general manager, coach, any of it. None of it matters. The number one thing that matters, location. Number two, real estate. Those are the things that matter. At whatever market you're in and how you're set up. How much money can you make around? Seahawks are lucky in that where they're located at, big market. Number two, big fan support. Number three, the area surrounding it. But you know what they don't own? Any of the other stuff around there.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. I think the biggest thing that holds against them, look, I think buying the Seahawks would be a great investment.
Oh, you're still going to make money, but it doesn't give you the runway to have the entertainment district that you own.
Seattle is a phenomenal football city. Seahawk fans absolutely love and adore that team. Dare I say, some of the best fans in the NFL. When the Saints are really good, who dat is big. Obviously, your Cowboys, your Steelers, etc. But if you're not one of those old school big teams, I would say who dat and the 12s are pretty high up on that list in terms of a great fan base. I think the biggest problem, Danny, honestly, is just cost. If you're telling me the Washington Commanders sold for 4.5, something like that, and the Denver Broncos sold for 6, and you want 8 for the Seahawks, I can't buy that. I think it's just too steep. I don't think it's that people aren't interested in buying it. I think it's just $8 billion. If I could have got the Broncos 2 years ago for $3 billion less, that's a steep number for me.
Let me see something real quick.
When I talk about how much my billions of dollars I can spend, I'm very picky about how I spend my billions of dollars. We don't just willy-nilly this stuff.
I should have had this up already. I want to see the Seattle media market. I can never remember where they're at.
I think they're 11.
11 through 13, depending on what you look at. So they're just on the outside of it being a top 10 market.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
Thank you.
That's a pretty good spot to be.
It really
and
is.
Guess what? What are the valuations done for every single team? Every time one sells,
they go up. It's the quarterback market. Same thing. Like the quarterbacks reset it every single time.
Somebody's going to pay $8 billion for the Seahawks. No. I would be stunned if it's not. The Blazers are going to sell for 4.5 in a market that is at its highest, 19th to 20th.
And what did the Lakers sell for? 10?
10.
Do that quick math. Blazers aren't worth 40% of the Lakers in my book, but that's what it costs. I mean, the Celtics sold for 8. You tell me the Blazers are half the Celtics? Brand-wise, no way. And that's not a slide on Portland.
But the brand doesn't. That's what I keep trying to say.
Yeah,
the brand
doesn't
matter. It's location, real estate, and entertainment district. The only thing I think working against the Seahawks is that they don't own all of the land surrounding it because you've got T-Mobile right next to it. And that's a different ownership group.
And they don't own Lumen Field. I don't think they own Lumen.
They don't, but I think they have a part of it. And I think that's
okay. This isn't a Rose Garden situation where Paul Allen and Vulcan own
then
Rose Garden.
They sold it back to the city for $1, and that's why we're at the situation we're at. But that's the thing. Like that's what makes the money, man. And here's the thing: the NFL's king. Somebody's going to pay it.
Yeah, you're desperate enough to get in. Sounds like no Bezos.
Which is
sounds like he's not interested in it.
So weird because he was interested and then he wasn't. I look at it and I go, I mean, don't you make that money in interest?
You know what I think it probably is with Bezos? He's probably just not a big sports fan.
Yeah.
He's clearly got the money. He's got more money than God right now, you know. He can do it. It's like Musk is the same way. You guys don't want to get in sports? Why not? They're not sports fans.
Yeah.
The ROI is probably great, and he would dump a ton of money into that team, and it would be awesome, but he probably, at the end of the day, doesn't want to go to games, doesn't want to sit in board meetings, doesn't want to do that.
It's like, Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds were on ESPN earlier for the Welcome to Wrexham stuff and like what they've been able to do there. Those guys aren't worth anywhere near that.
No.
They took real risk. Now, it wasn't real risk when they bought it. I think didn't they buy it for like $10 million total?
It was pretty cheap.
It was like it might have been less than that. Now it's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, yeah, dude, if it's something you like, Rob McElhenney is a huge sports fan. He's a diehard Philly sports guy, right? I mean, It's Always Sunny. It's based in Philly for a reason. Like, he's a Philly sports guy. Like, if you're one of those people, that's the thing though, is how many billionaires are like, go to Oregon State. You've got one of the richest people on the face of the planet is an Oregon State alumni and doesn't want anything to do with you. It's not a sports fan. Like,
it's just how it goes.
Steve Ballmer loves sports.
Paul Allen spent some time at Wazoo, never donated money. Same with Bill Gates.
But loves sports. Like, so if you like Mark Cuban loves sports. Like,
did you know he went to Indiana?
Matt Ishbia played college basketball at Michigan State.
Did you know he played for Tom Izzo?
Yeah, but you get these guys who are worth billions who love sports.
Did you know Con Knippel's from Wisconsin?
Oh, God.
We come back, closing arguments to send you on your way. 105.1 The Fan.
It's time for Easy Play, brought to you by Home Z, making home improvement easy.
Kelsey prep touch, thinks about serving a ball in with his left foot. Now will pull it back to DaCosta and then slide himself in central. Velda will shoot from distance and scores on an absolute screamer. Christopher Velda with a rocket. It's 1-0 Portland in the 6th minute.
That is Fletcher Johnson, as heard right here on The Fan, your home of the Portland Timbers. They defeat Sporting Kansas City 6-0 on Saturday. A rockin' night at Providence Park. Everybody was having fun. Christopher Velda got the scoring started. One of his first 2 goals. Side note, Kevin Kelsey made Team of the Week for MLS. 2 goals, 2 assists. KC's bad, but boy, if you handle business and look good doing it at home, it's going to make you feel better. This Easy Play brought to you by HomeZ. Use HomeZ's online calculator to estimate your project instantly. Make it easy. Call HomeZ. That's HOMZE. HomeZ.com.
We just finished our roof and siding with HomeZ.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information. Coming up on the program tomorrow, it is a free consultation Tuesday, so we'll have that for you at 12:15 per usual. I got a really funny story over the weekend in college baseball for Web Gems tomorrow. Take a peek at the Oregon schedule. It's kind of a lot of leftovers from last week that we didn't get to. I'd like to explain to you the new men's college basketball tournament. All 76 teams of them. Let's make playing games matter. No, they won't.
I know we're going to get to it, but like making the mid-majors go through Hunger Games to get to the NCAA tournament, also we can get some
Arizona State with
Big 12 or SEC team into the tournament for some like just smidgen of TV ratings. It's like just blow my brains all over the walls. This is so dumb.
Some news and notes from around sports. The Chargers signed tight end Njoku for a year. I did not know that he was still a free agent. I assumed somebody who got him. Nice little pickup for the Chargers.
I mean,
I like that move.
Yeah, I could see it working out just fine for them.
He's one of the most impressive athletes I think I've ever seen.
Massive human that moves real well.
Again, great blocking tight end, can extend the field. Second all-time in Cleveland's touchdowns and receptions for a tight end behind Ozzie Newsome. So, good company.
Remind me, Ozzie Newsome good? Yeah.
Pretty darn good. Great company to be in.
Timbers defeat the Sporting Kansas City soccer team 6-0 at Providence Park.
How did they put up a baseball score?
Dude, I was there, and I'm watching the first 5 minutes of this game.
And you're going,
and I'm looking at Kansas City's defense, and like, these guys, like, I don't know what to do with my legs. I don't know what to. They're just like ball watching and kind of standing around. And look, the Timbers have struggled of late, but you want to be worried about a team? Go to Kansas City. That team's in trouble.
What's the thing I always say? It can always be worse.
It can always be worse. It can always be worse. As they trickle out the NFL schedule, which I believe is released on Thursday. I don't know what time they release it, but I'm sure we'll break that all down. But Sunday Night Football, first game of the year is Giants-Cowboys. Harbaugh's debut with the Giants and the Cowboys off their draft that's so good that Andy Dirt Johnson thinks they're going to the Super Bowl. No? You don't got it?
Giants? Hey, Cowboys? Oh. I'm in on the Giants.
We're pro-Giants. This is a pro-Giants show right here.
Pro-Giants show. I haven't made my picks for the season yet, but again, when I sit down and do it and I have to relook at the schedule,
I might have Giants just outside the playoffs.
I think I'm going to pick them as a wild card.
I love it.
I picked the Bears last year to win that division, and I felt pretty confident in that one, but we'll see.
Your sporting events tonight, Detroit at Cleveland on the Peacock at NBC at 5 o'clock. Does Cleveland tie this thing up?
I hope so.
I got a feeling it's Detroit.
You know what? No. Now I don't, because the Knicks swept. I don't want the Knicks sitting there rested.
I got a feeling it's
just
Detroit
3-1.
Is this the last game for LeBron in a Laker jersey tonight?
Probably.
I'd put good money on it.
Yeah.
I think OKC rolls, and I bet you we see a vintage OKC performance. I bet you they go out there and just put the foot on it.
They want to rest, and they want Minnesota, San Antonio to go the distance.
At least 2 more games in that series. If I'm OKC, I think you look at this as a must-win game. Obviously not, because you'll go back home for Game 5, but you make quick work of the Lakers. You're getting J-Dub some more rest over there. That puts you in a really, really good spot if I'm them.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. And me and the dog, I'll probably record the Avalanche Minnesota Wild game. The dog's a big Avs fan.
Oh, yeah, big Avs fan.
She loves McKinnon. She thinks he's dreamy.
I mean, it's a good place to be.
She's like, that dog, that guy's so cute.
Would you rather be the best player in your sport or like the 5th best player in your sport and also extremely good looking?
Oh, the latter.
Right?
The latter.
Right?
And I don't want to be Tom Brady, who's the GOAT of quarterbacks and had to have like surgery.
I'll take Kelly Oubre's life any day of the week.
You know what I mean? Like Pretty Kelly? It's a good place to be,
man. They
man.
call him Tsunami Poppy.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Dude, Ant Edwards makes top 10 lists of most attractive NBA players.
No. NBA doesn't. NBA doesn't do too well.
He's got the kids to prove it.
No, you're not wrong.
That might have been much.
Money's helpful.
Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. That'll do it for us. We'll catch you all tomorrow. For Danny Marang, that's Casey Smith. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.
Hey guys, spray